for the price of regular shingles. If you don't have an insurance claim,
he now calls himself an ambassador. Rodman, he's nuts.
Remember, at Excel Roofing, you don't pay a step.
Rodman's an idiot. He's a nut. I wouldn't have the balls to fly over there, even if the fat kid wanted to see. No way.
Nothing is more important than your health. I'm Donnie, owner of Fitness Gallery, where we sell the world's finest fitness equipment. Due to your own response, we've extended our tent sale through the end of June.
Yeah, I was on the table. They touched this guy. You're good.
Or infomercial equipment. Buy quality, never regret it. Like True Fitness, for over 36 years, manufacturing the best treadmills, ellipticals, and stationary bikes made. Rated the quietest and smoothest, True carries the best warranty in
So your son is a mess, your other son?
Oh,
yeah, he starts, he goes to DU. So he goes to DU. Excuse me. He starts classes today. So,
What kind of class?
he's just taking summer school. So yeah, he's,
What grade?
he's, well, he was a freshman, so he's going to be a
How's he
sophomore.
doing in school?
Straight A's and on the dean's list.
The one with autism. Really? So he's highly.
Oh, he's
So
he's genius.
What's the form of? That's the problem. What's the? He's on the end of the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, he's
What is
got
his
a
form-
99 on his calculus 3 final.
What's his form of autism?
He's right. They say he's Asperger's, but he's as high functioning autistic as you can probably get.
Are we up on the internet?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's doing great. He's just unfortunately he's just a nightmare.
He's killing it though. That's crazy.
Oh, he's killing college. Academically, he's just killing it. So.
Well, autistic children are highly involved.
They certainly can.
They are. I mean,
And he has got that. I mean, he's on a level me and his mom cannot even.
That's got to be so weird too when you're like,
It is so
he's
weird.
bringing home calculus 3 and you're like, oh shit.
I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, and you know what? He didn't even ask. He literally just goes and does his work, and he's a hard worker. So he just goes and does his thing. And I've not helped him with homework in 7-8 years. He's always been so far ahead.
How is he emotional?
He's real tender. He's actually very emotional. I mean, he's just cried for 3 days. So he's not, he doesn't fit the bill for the average autistic kid,
So I suppose it was on the line the spectrum for Asperger's.
Literally.
Yeah, I certainly got some of those tendencies, but
That's what I was told.
you know what Asperger's children I have found? They can feel energy and they can feel the energy of people, and that's where people really, because they can feel the energy of people. So if somebody comes in and they have this negative energy, they're not going to have anything to do with that. And that's where they become like, oh, they're socially dysfunctional. No.
Joe, how do I pronounce your last name?
Matoya.
he sees light in weird ways, like when he watches TV, he kind of watches like this. He kind of observes people different. He's just a little bit different plane. He's like that,
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a great sense of
You
humor.
can solve the world's problems, man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you
Hi,
can.
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Wow, we're going to have a good time today. Solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life a little easier. Whatever we do it with vigor, and we so enjoy you being here. You know what's important? What's really important is telling people about the show so we can all help each other. That's really what it is. It's a big, giant effort to help each other. That's really, if you figured it out, that's what it is. We use media. We just use it for your satisfaction and pleasure. 100% satisfaction guaranteed if you listen. Now, if you call, I can't guarantee that, although we have recovered millions and millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. And, I calculate that based on what we save people or what we get people or what we do for people. And today, oh my goodness, is one of the most prolific days because it's Insurance Day, where we have you call our insurance hotline with your declarations page of either your automobile policy, your home policy, whatever policy you have, and you say, here's what I'm paying. I'm paying $2,350 a year, and this is what I have. And then Compass Insurance Group takes a look and says, you got a great deal. 15% of the time they say that. You got a good deal. Stay right where you are. But 85% of the time they say, we can give you more coverage for less money, or we can give you the same coverage for less money, or we can save you a ton of money and give you more coverage. It depends on your situation. I don't think we've ever had a show ever where we have recovered for people who have called less than a cumulative of $100,000. I think that's conservative, right? Matt?
Matt, it'd be tough to tell. It's tens and tens
because
and tens of thousands.
Listen, because if you think about $100,000, so we get 50 calls, you'd only have to save an average of $2,000, but we get more than 50, and we literally keep the lines open till 4. 303 Martino is the hotline, isn't it, or is it 771 help? Which one are we using for the insurance hotline?
771 help.
Okay, sorry. 303-771 help. 771-4357. Welcome. Now, Bruiser, I have Brutus is out, Bruiser is in. I have a tape I want to get to you. It's on my Dropbox. Do you have a Dropbox I can drop it to, sir? I want to play it later in the show. Okay? Okay, good. In any case, I'll send you a link to it. You know, we have a tape that you're not going to believe. It has to do with what I call harassment in Pueblo. Don't ever get harassed in Pueblo. If you're a woman in Pueblo, the Pueblo police, I don't know why I have a problem saying Pueblo police, they feel basically it's not a big deal. In fact, neither does the DA. I don't have Daphne to get on the phone to tell me about this, but she was so frustrated calling the district attorney and calling the police. 2 young ladies live alone in an apartment. One girl broke up with a guy, and the guy literally shows up at the place 5 times a day. And he is scary. Pueblo police says we can't do anything about it, which I don't understand. Mark, they said we can't do anything about it. What does that mean? She wants a restraining order. I believe Allie's been working on this. Did she get a restraining order actually issued, but it hasn't been served? Is that the case right now?
Yeah, she got the restraining order. They just won't serve it because they can't find him, they say.
Yeah, we have to get this guy served. We have to put him on notice because he keeps showing up there and he's not violating anything right now. But here's the problem. When he shows up and he's threatening, the police do nothing. Pueblo police, people, in my opinion, the Pueblo police are the worst of the worst. Now, I thought, what was the one city, the Inglewood Police Department was bad. Not even close to Pueblo. At least Inglewood enforces the law.
Remember the guy that was spitting on his mom years ago?
Yes. Was that Pueblo police?
That was Colorado Springs. I had to bring her down to the station and threaten KRDO TV cameras before they would go out and serve that kid. Spitting on his mom.
He was spitting on his grandma, yelling at her, and was it his mom or grandma?
Mom.
Yeah, we had to get him evicted. Do you
remember? He's like a 40-year-old guy. She's like 80.
Do you remember? You know, we get a lot of calls from domestic situations where a guy is living with his mom and threatening her, or living with his grandmother. Remember that kid, that little that punk. Entitled little punk living with his grandmother, threatening her?
Tom.
Then he got on the phone with me and tried to have an intellectual discussion.
Yeah, right. The cops went out there, you know that, and then she turned her tune when the cops showed up.
Yeah, because these elderly people get intimidated and they get taken advantage of. We are here to equalize, folks. 303-713-TALK. Now, with your insurance policies, I want you to call the hotline, 303-771-HELP. All of our insurance people are standing by in our help center to reduce your premiums or to tell you if you have a great deal. By the way, this is not biased to any one company. There are 25 different insurance companies competing for your business. At 303-771-HELP. This is perhaps one of the most important shows we do. 303-771-4357. We have another guest I want to tell you about in a second here, but let's bring up Ray, who has a comment on the Keystone Police, Pueblo. Go ahead. Ray.
Hello.
What's your comment about the Keystone Police?
They won't do nothing for nobody.
They won't do nothing for nobody. That's a good way of putting it.
You know, if they can arrest you, that's the only... If you call them for anything... They
turn you to bad guy, right? If you call, they don't like you.
Yes. They ask you, before they do anything or even talk to you, what's your name, date of birth, and they go back to their car to see if they can arrest you. First thing they do. And then other than that, they don't do nothing. I had a situation where my nephew went to my house. I asked him to leave. He wouldn't leave. I had to throw him out. And when he left, He broke my windshield on my car. I called the police. I had to go to the station. They wouldn't come. I went to the station. They told me it's a civil matter. Take him to court.
You know, I am so tired of police departments hiding behind that civil thing. You know, we get a lot of that with the Contractors Trust Act, where they take money and do nothing in return. And then, in fact, that was, which one was it, where they said it was a civil matter, but the guy took 16 grand and didn't do the work, and they said it was a civil matter. Mark, we know it's not a civil matter at that point because it's a Contractors Trust Act.
He didn't do anything.
Right.
Yeah, when
it
theft is theft, and then, you know, when they do something to you, if I go break someone's window or windshield anywhere else, they'll take me to jail.
You know, I think you summed it up right. Pueblo police don't do nothing for nobody. I like that saying. They don't do nothing for nobody. Kevin, what's your comment on the Keystone Police? Kevin.
Oh, hey, yeah, so they're short-staffed in Pueblo, I'll give you that.
Short-staffed, they're morons, too.
They are. They're very slow at responding. I was listening to the police scanner one day, and they were, at 11 o'clock at night, they were responding to a call from 9 o'clock in the morning.
I bet if you buy one, get one free donuts, their asses would be there quicker.
You know what? Really, I love police, and I mean that sincerely, but the Pueblo police, the way they've handled this is terrible. And I don't know what the excuse is for domestic like this, where two young ladies living alone are terrified. Wait till you hear this. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic the way that the department's ran down there, and I know that the officers, they have pretty low morale. I mean, it's a management issue.
So maybe it's just a bad police department. The Keystone Police, Pueblo, Colorado. I can't believe the comments we're getting on them. Jeez.
Do you know where that came from, Keystone Cops?
I have no idea where to come from.
Keystone Film Company in the beginning of the 20th century. Silent movies making fun of the police.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't know that, Mark, really. And they started making fun of them.
Yep.
All right, keep up with me here on the calls. I don't know which one I took and which one I didn't. Ray, do you have a comment? Go ahead, Ray.
Well, I'm the one that said that they do nothing.
Oh, yeah, they don't do nothing for nobody. You're right. We'll take a quick break and see what we can do for you. This thing has to stop. When you hear it, you won't believe what they do. One Clear Choice Garage Doors from Colorado Springs to where? Fort Collins. They will take care of your garage door needs, and they are One Clear Choice. Just remember that, oneclearchoicedoors.com if you want to see all of their prices and services for immediate assistance.
I don't know why I don't have your email. Can you give it to Suzanne to text it to me right now on the instant message?
Well, we have some new troubles for your driver around Denver. First of all, a new crash being reported I-25 southbound at 20th Street. We have stop-and-go traffic back to 58th Avenue. I-70 west.
I'll introduce you here in a little bit, Joe.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, I'm sorry, Kev. Let me put your email in here. I don't know why I just put it there. Kev.
Also, I-25
oh, it is. Right here. Okay, sorry. I do have it. Okay. So there it is. And then I want to play that.
All right. So,
and I
Joe, you want to come on the banner? I'm going to show you the banner I put up when you just let you 3 lines. Make sure everything was good. 3 lines. This is what I'll put up on stock and all. You also have 2 very final there and stuff. But how's that look? Right number.
Here's what we'll do. Okay. I'm going to work some of these in during the
okay.
So
what do you do?
If I can read this, okay?
Make sure you bring it up.
Let me work some of it.
What is it? What is it?
Okay, we'll light it up, all right?
Okay.
Now, when you roll water,
you can do it?
Good. I'll do it. Okay, good. We'll take care of it.
Massage, yeah.
Hey, I listen to the show.
You do listen to the show.
I love My son-in-law listens to the show and takes your guys' advice all the time. Yeah, it's cute.
Damn it, what is this? How the heck did you get massagehikes.com? That's good. That's a good URL.
It's, I mean, it's the corporate, it's a franchise.
Oh,
it's a corporate.
That's corporate. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we go there, we don't find you.
I work with Highlands Ranch Massage Hikes. I'm representing.
Is it yours?
It is not mine. I'm their business developer.
Do you do massage?
I do. Yeah.
But you're also their business developer.
I am. I get to do the best of both.
But you do personal.
I do.
She wanted you in there, Tom. Remember?
Oh, I will. I will.
Yeah, so you're
But did you do a special? Weren't you talking to me about a special kind of massage?
I do cranial sacral therapy.
That is what I need, I was told.
Yep, you do.
I was told I need it for my tinnitus. There have been people that have had remarkable results working on the head for tinnitus.
Yeah, and I'm an advanced therapist. I'm really
And
good.
I know it will work because when I touch, I can hear the tones change.
Isn't that working for you? Your tones have been working well.
They're working, but I want to do everything I can.
In interest over the long run. Yes, tens of
Cranial
thousands
sacral
of
therapy would be
dollars
awesome.
in overall savings.
For you.
Because you're borrowing money at a lower rate and for much less time, it can be a much better deal for you. And with a fixed rate, no matter where
The lights bothering you?
No, I'm just trying to get a little better. That camera there is a lot different than the other camera.
What one? We have a new camera?
No, that one. That one with the audio.
How about the 360 camera, Mark?
It works so cool. I did this girl's wedding with it.
Can we do something with
Yeah, we're going to have to set it up. The problem is it doesn't integrate into vMix yet, so it's going to have to be a separate thing. In other words...
No, I understand, but can we use it for when we go out on a story?
Yeah, you could use it for that. It'd be kind of cool. You'd want other angles, too, because it's not as crisp, but, man, it is. The technology
So you don't point it in any one direction.
Doesn't matter. You just hold it.
And then I do a stand-up.
And then you got 360.
And viewer.
The best way to do it is literally you put on like your head.
But then you don't see me.
That's true. That would be true.
If I wanted to be on camera. So this guy did not deliver the lift yet. What? We got to get a power supply.
We're going to get a power supply and sling.
A 24-volt power supply is not hard.
I would think so.
You can buy a battery charger, basically.
How about the sling, though? That could be hard.
Right. I'm trying to get medical equipment.
How heavy is this rod?
Well, it works up to the one he has will lift up to 600 pounds.
Okay. But we have to get the sling.
She won't come on video.
Well, I'll take care of that. So once I get out there.
But the thing about they're almost giving them things away. They're like $500 used ones and stuff.
With motors?
With motors or something.
He said they were 10,000.
No. If you buy new, I see them for 5,000. But I'm sure if someone dies, that Medicare had paid for it.
Have you found them for sale for $500?
I've seen one for $450 now. It had already been sold, but it was on there for $450. So
okay.
But like I say, this needs is I'm trying to find the sling. So I imagine there's probably dirty and everything. So they probably throw the sling out. And then that's probably true. And then the power supply was missing. So, but you're right. That's probably a fairly common.
Could you take a bed sheet and create a
That's
sling?
what I was wondering. If maybe not a sheet, but something.
A parachute,
If
something
you do
strong.
your sewing is spectacular.
Oh,
That's
you'd love
what you do.
that.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino.
Your troubleshooter. And I got to tell you about our special show today in just a second, but what's really important is that I tell you about Pure Water Solutions, because I'll tell you, this is such a big topic. Pure Water Choices is the name, and it's such a big topic. Pure Water Choices. Why? Because Al is a master plumber, and he said, I want to get in this business and do away with all the lying, cheating rip-offs out there. Because when you talk about filtration and making water soft and treating water, you get all kinds of crazy stories. So please listen up, people. Here's what I want to tell you. Even with a city supply, okay, even with purified water from the city, you still have sediment in it, you still have traces of medications, you still have metals, you still have other unhealthy materials. Filtration is the only way to get rid of it, the proper filtration. We're not talking about a normal carbon filter. And Al can teach you what the different filters do. And he can do a whole house filtration system. It's that simple, or a point of use if you want it just for drinking. The important thing is he will tell you the difference between filtration and softening. Softening is not for your health at all. It does nothing for your health. It's just good for your pipes and for your water and for your skin. Yeah, it feels better, but it really does nothing for your health. So to get the truth about water, please call him for a complimentary visit. PureWaterChoices.com, 720-219-7880. 7818. That's 720-219-7818. It's important that we get the word out in this rip-off industry. You can go to Pure Water Choices, 720-219-7818. Now, let's keep going, and I'll introduce my other guests. We do have Matt Corneo from Compass Insurance Group, and people, you can call 303-771-HELP, 771-4357, if you want to get a quote on insurance and compare yours. And remember this, you can call here, and of course, Matt will chime in if you have any specific questions about insurance. We have a guest, Joe Metoyer. I knew I wasn't going to...
you even asked.
Metoyer. Joe Metoyer. She is with Massage Heights in Highlands Ranch. She's the business development expert. She's also a massage therapist herself. And she does a very special kind of massage. But at Massage Heights, they're just all over massage, whatever you need, right?
That's right.
Okay. Massage therapy has become very, very, very popular and integrated. People are discovering that it's not just, just a rub down. It's not just, oh, that feels nice. It's actually therapeutic.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's not, people think that it's, for the wealthy, and it's, froofy, and it's, a luxury, and it's not. It's extremely therapeutic, and it's preventative health.
And it is truly therapeutic if done the right way.
Absolutely.
Now, you do a special kind of massage that I was told that if I did it, it could possibly help my tinnitus. And it can also help people with sinuses. It helps with migraines. It helps with all kinds of problems, probably more than I know. I was told it's good for blood pressure, and that's a...
It's called craniosacral therapy.
Now, that just means the head, basically.
No. Craniosacral therapy is whole body.
What?
So
I thought it was mainly the head.
No. If you look at your body, and this is the problem with in my opinion.
Sacral is the neck part, and cranial is the head, right?
So sacral is your sacrum. So that's the bottom. That's basically your
base.
That's right. So if you look at it as one unit, we look at it as one unit because the spine connects the two, right? Your cranium, your sacrum.
So if you go in for a cranial... when they were telling me about the tinnitus, I'm almost positive they weren't talking about whole body massage.
Well, that is
They were talking about working on the head. Do you work on the head is what I'm asking.
Right. So, but to work on the head, I have to work on your sacrum because it's all connected.
Okay.
So we look at the body as a whole
No,
unit.
I understand that part, but do you concentrate? Does your specialty concentrate on the cranial?
No, not necessarily. It just depends.
It's just called that.
Absolutely.
How does it differ then from a whole body massage? How does it differ?
So craniosacral therapy, and what you're going to find with massage therapists, is massage therapists, we all specialize in something different.
Right, so what is your special, that one, that's sacral,
so the craniosacral therapy,
what is that?
What it is a light touch therapy, and it's working with your craniosacral system. So your craniosacral system is basically your central nervous system.
Okay.
We work to release and facilitate the body into releasing restriction deep in the body.
Okay.
And by doing that, your body actually has a biorhythm.
What would you use it for, that kind of massage?
Everything.
Okay, but
everything.
When would you use regular massage versus that kind of massage?
I incorporate craniosacral therapy within a regular massage. So I'm going to always perform craniosacral therapy on my clients, just to relax their body initially and for their body to really direct me where it goes. Because in craniosacral therapy, the body has an inner physician. And sometimes when people are on massage therapist table, they'll say, I don't know how you know exactly where to go on my body, because that's exactly where it hurts. How did you know to go there? Well, we're really in tune.
I've often wondered that. I've wondered that. So I'm looking up craniosacral therapy on Google, and it says gentle, non-invasive form of body work that addresses bones of the head, spinal column, and sacrum. The goal is to release compression in those areas, relieve stress and pain.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you have any questions on it, she's here just to say hi from the referral list. So say hi to Joe, Massage Heights. And if you have any questions about it, give me a call. I want to know if people literally have had if anyone listening has had anything cured or fixed by massage. Seriously, about the therapy of massage. I know some people tell me that they have literally had a problem in their joint and massage has helped it. Now, obviously, massage is therapeutic, but I'm not sure if it cures anything. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. I know people who say that regular massage has taken away their headaches forever. They used to have migraines, terrible migraines, and they don't get them anymore.
So, Tom, can I just clarify that?
Yeah.
So massage doesn't fix anything. We really facilitate the body into correcting itself.
That's a good way of putting it.
Absolutely. We're
Okay.
facilitators. The body is made to
Right.
self-correct.
You're right, it does.
Yeah.
And that's what prolotherapy does, that's what PRP does, and that's what stem cell therapy does.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it corrects itself. Okay, people, let's keep going here. Anything you want to talk about? I was talking about the Pueblo Police. JR, go ahead. What is your comment on the Keystone Police?
Hey, Tom, two things real quick, and I'll get off. They're well known. It's well known that they're
jokes?
the slowest response time in the state.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Slowest response time. Yes.
I did not know.
Number two, with those girls, it would have been very easy to get this guy on a stalking charge when he's coming out. To
But
their
they don't.
property
They won't.
uninvited.
They won't. Hey, Kevin, do you have that tape? You're getting it now? Okay, you're going to hear this. It would be easy, but they won't do it. They won't do it. Allie, what is the excuse the police gave for not charging this man?
Everything is put on a list of what's most important, basically, and we don't qualify as a stabbing, a shooting, or a fatal car accident.
As women, they don't classify that.
That's nuts.
Okay, so
what's weird is in some municipalities that guy would be locked up already.
Tom,
Yes.
I'm getting so many complaints about Pueblo Police via email. And
oh my God, I can't believe what a nerve it hit. Summer, I guess they're just non-responsive. Summer, what is your oh, you're the one involved in this, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
How many times, Summer, did he come by over the weekend?
3.
Huh?
Over the weekend, he only came by once, but that was on Saturday.
Well, okay, but that's after you've told him repeatedly to stop, isn't that right?
Yes, that's correct. And there's a message of me telling him the details of the restraining order, and I even.
But he still hasn't been served with that restraining order.
No.
You can get. By the way, Summer, you can get him served. Here's what I suggest you do, because the police are not doing their job, and actually they aren't necessarily process servers, okay? So here's what I suggest you do. Get the restraining order. Mark, I think this would be totally legal. When he shows up at your house, and you know he will, get a third party to serve him. It can't be you. It can't be you or your roommate, but anyone can be there when he shows up.
Is the roommate listed on there?
Yes, I think they're both, I don't know, I think they are both, yes, they're both listed with the address. And here's the thing. If you serve him while he's there, he has to leave immediately, and then you have violation right there.
Yeah, but it sounds like Pueblo, even with the violation, isn't going to
I don't know. If they had an actual violation, they might do something. We're going to listen to this tape, though. I want to know what you would do if it was your niece, nephew, daughter, your loved one, and this happens over and over and over and over. Now, it may not sound threatening to you, but to me it sounds dangerous. It sounds dangerous. And that's the thing that bothers me, that it feels dangerous. This email wants to know, who do I recommend? Again, I love doing this because I know they're listening to commercials. For the concrete, it's concrete lift and stabilization. No, he doesn't replace it. They want to know, does he replace the concrete? No. What he does is what's called mud jacking or poly jacking. That's the plastic polymer he pumps in, or mud, which is concrete, depending on what you need. Basically, what Devin Johns does is assess the situation. That's his most valuable service. And he tells you where the voids are and where they need to be filled. If you choose to do it, he can do it for you. And then after that, you patch the concrete. He doesn't remove and replace concrete, but you often don't have to do that if you do mud jacking or poly jacking. He will perform that service free of charge as far as the diagnostics and the analyzing. Then if you decide to have it done, he'll do it for you. He's the only one that has both systems, okay? 720-890-2740. 720-890-2740. It's called Concrete Lift and Stabilization. He's on my referral list, and his website is concretelift.com. If you have an elbow that's sore, maybe you need knee surgery, or you think you do, shoulders, back,
relax. Whatever's ailing you, if you want to know about stem cell therapy, which could possibly...
Matt, can you check your email on there? You got Gmail?
For sure.
I've got email right now.
What is your email?
Matt@quotecompass.com.
How come? Seminars about stem cell
That's what I did.
put on by Stem Cell Institute. They have a number of
Oh, I do got it.
around the country, and they just opened up one here in Denver. In many cases, you can avoid surgery.
So the head, spinal column, and sacrum. Where's the sacrum?
Let me know if you want that. It's got nothing to do with compass. Just is it eye
Oh my
catching?
God.
Would you click on it?
I didn't realize.
And
So
you know how
it
it
is the
got
whole
its
thing.
It is. You know how it got its name? Go to upledger.com. That's going to show you. Upledger. Upledger.com is Dr. John Upledger. He was the CEO who came up with this whole curriculum and really brought it to the forefront. But you know how sacrum got its name? When they would burn the witches at the stake?
It's just a really
Sacrum was always sacred. They called it, and that's how it got its name, the sacrum. Yeah. So that's Dr. John Upledger. There's all kinds of different information on there. But he was the DO that really brought it. Osteopaths do training cranial sacral therapy. Some of them actually do it.
Are you talking about that price fixer thing?
Literally that, yeah.
But that's an amazing therapy.
Yeah, it catches you pretty quick.
Would you click on it if it came down your news stream on Facebook?
So when your cranium gets restricted,
The first thing you would see is go back to the
football
beginning.
players, they only
That's the first thing you'd see
They
in
talk
your
about
news
concussion, but they
stream.
never talk
Now,
about
what is
treatment.
price fixer?
No.
It's the cheapest way to buy AC.
And you do it without a
And you would
salesman.
click on it, and it would go right there. You buy it online, and then they come out and install it.
Really? 10-year guarantee. And it's air conditioning?
Furnaces, air conditioning, and repairs.
Really?
$24,000 for just a few days.
Wow.
Colorado Flat Fee Realty has a much better way.
I just watched Seinfeld
The
last
theory
night.
tests everywhere. It tests everywhere, man. I agree 100%.
That
with what
recording
you were saying
is
this morning.
disturbing. Keith's getting all the cuss words out of it, Kevin is.
I did already.
No, there was still
I
some
removed
fucking, and
Oh no, then that's not the one. I had it all.
there's a lot of cussing in there.
Okay, then that's
Do you want me
not
to tell
it.
him to stop?
You know what? I have to find my.
Mark, you should hear this. This is disturbing. The police need to do something.
Is this one? He's got that. He doesn't have the right one. It's down in my.
Do you want me to tell him to hold tight, or?
You know, Kevin, I have a cleaned up one, so don't waste your time. I'll find it.
Did you put good blips in?
I didn't put blips. I don't have any swearing in mine, and it's only a minute and a half. How long is that one?
Doesn't involve surgery, minute and a half. Risk of infection.
And I still had an F word in there or more.
It takes
Two.
less than 15.
Well, then have him just cut
Maybe,
it out.
okay, if those are the only two, maybe I missed those then. But it's compressed, isn't it, Allie? That's the one that's shortened. Yeah, then if you take those out, listen to the whole thing and make sure.
He would have had to hit his own dumb button.
But I really thought I cleaned that up, man. I'm surprised.
I was so mad at this caller yesterday. I said, blow me. And I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and I dumped it.
Well, the way you do it is, if you ever said that, you say, blow me, a kiss.
You should, Kevin's looking at me, I'm looking at him. Can he say that? Can I say that?
Just in case.
Don't.
Cost of stone or wood. The first name was Paradigm. If you're interested, does he say summer? Waterproof, beautiful floors, or of course you can see them for other times.
Yeah, the Seinfeld.
Hardwood, laminates.
They're going down and playing final episode.
Oh, yeah.
George says, hey, I cheated on a contest.
That's right.
Why did he admit he cheated?
Hold on, let me think. Hold on.
Why did he admit he cheated on the contest?
Why did he admit why he cheated?
Because, God, I remember him doing that.
So funny, I just laughed and laughed.
Okay, I got some.
So they're crashing.
Why did he?
He said, Jerry, I cheated on the contest. He says, why did you cheat? Why did you cheat? And he said,
Why did he cheat on the contest?
What did Jerry do with the watch his parents gave him?
Threw it in the trash.
threw it in the trash, and his uncle
Leo, yeah, Leo wore
took
it.
on.
Not his best performance.
And then he told his parents it was out getting fixed.
I
Can you imagine?
love that show.
I did love the show.
That's why he's worth $845 million.
Did you see, there's this artist that came up to him at an event. Oh, the video is so funny. Real life shit. So she comes up, and she's pretty well known in the hip-hop world. I don't know her from anybody, but she's very well known.
This was on the Seinfeld show.
No, it wasn't on Seinfeld. This just happened like a week ago. So she comes up, and most of the time she goes anywhere, people know who she is. She tries to hug Jerry. He's like, whoa, whoa, no way. He totally shuns her. It's funny as hell. And it's real. I mean,
he didn't know it.
No, he didn't know it. And even if he knew of her, he's still
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. We got a question for our massage therapist, and we'll go to that, and then more on the Pueblo police. I affectionately call the Keystone Police. They couldn't, I'll tell you, they couldn't help you. They are so inadequate. Based on this situation, I'm saying, Rick, you have a question. Go ahead about massage. What is it?
I want her opinion on it's good to have her like that on the massage chairs that are available now.
What do you mean?
And, those kind you buy and they give you a massage when you sit in them.
Well, what about them?
Yeah, and they have inserts for your legs.
Yeah.
And your arms.
Now you talking about the massage one where you lean over and it's on your knees kind of, and they do a back and head, or are you talking about the full body?
Chair.
They had some at the home show I went out to.
Are you talking about
10 grand?
Are you talking about the table or the chair?
It has them.
Are you talking about the table where you lay down flat, or the chair?
Oh, it's a regular. It's like a recliner, and it's computerized. And
They're crazy.
Oh, you mean the massage chairs?
Yeah, and the
I love those things with the rollers on them.
Yeah, I have one.
But they can't possibly.
I'm in it twice a day.
But I don't think they could possibly do what a massage therapist does. Now I can.
No, I'm not saying they can.
But I love those. I love those.
Could almost replace a wife or girlfriend.
Well, not quite.
God, what a moron
Tom,
he is.
Can he go home with you today?
Yeah. I mean, he might have to. Here's the thing.
What's wrong with you?
Joe, do you like those? Those aren't bad, those massage chairs.
I always recommend to my clients self-care, right? So you come see me once or twice a month, and you're always going to want to do self-care. So a massage chair? Absolutely. Is that going to do what a massage therapist can professionally do?
I love them, though.
No.
Anything, though, to increase that circulation and get your blood moving is good stuff. Now, of course, if you use it the wrong way, it could hurt. I love those massage chairs, though. Have you heard of the kind where you lay down and it's on a plastic... It's like it's almost like a waterbed mattress.
They were everywhere in Vegas.
And then the jets shoot up behind it. They've had those?
They put them in these weird chambers.
Right,
you
and
pay per minute.
And the jetted water massages you instead of rollers. But you don't get wet because it's in this bladder. You've seen them, Mark. Yeah.
Last week they were everywhere.
Vegas. All over.
Every hotel.
Well, are we ready for that sound? Okay, I want to just set this up. Basically, a couple girls call me and say, we live in Pueblo in an apartment, and this guy keeps coming over. She broke up with him. My roommate broke up with him, Summer, and he keeps bugging me. I got a restraining order. It hasn't been served yet. The police will do nothing. They hardly respond. Summer, what did the district attorney tell you?
So I talked to the district attorney that was in charge of my case on Friday, and she admitted to me over the phone that she hadn't even opened my case.
Okay.
And then I called them back yesterday, and they still haven't opened it, and I left her a voicemail, and she hasn't gone back.
Here is just a sampling of what you have to put up with. Now, I hear it's even worse than this. This is only a minute and a half out of... How long does he sit there and rant sometimes? I'm told he's there for an hour at a time, right?
He'll stay for a while, and I know that he can see where our house is from, like, nearby.
Is it a house or an apartment?
It's an apartment.
Yeah, okay. So let's just get a sampling here. Bruiser, let's hear it.
Please, love, please don't ruin my life. I ruined my whole life. Really, let me fix you, babe. Babe, please.
Dude, you gotta leave.
Please, love, why don't you hear me out?
I'm gonna call the police if you don't leave now.
Please don't. Look at me, babe. I'm the same person.
Like, you're so loud.
Okay.
Go to your house.
I can't go home. I hate it if you're not there.
I'm gonna call the police if you don't leave.
Please give me 10 minutes, please. babe, please, babe, look at me. I'm so miserable.
Time out.
I'm miserable, babe, please.
Time out. Listen to me. Listen to me.
I love you. I love you.
For like 2 seconds.
I love you with every inch of my...
I don't care. Let me talk. Let me talk. I start a job at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'm trying to go to sleep right now. And
babe, I can't sleep.
Shut.
Insane, babe. I don't have anyone to talk to, babe. Please.
I'm gonna call the police if you don't leave right now.
Please.
I'm gonna close the store right now. And if you don't leave, I will call the police.
I'm sorry. Don't put me in jail, babe. I don't want to go to
right
jail.
Now. Then leave. You're violating your restraining order.
Now, he's out in the hallway in their apartment house. He's in the hallway of their apartment house. Now, listen, I feel sorry for him. I'm going to just say this straight up. I feel sorry. He's a 29-year-old man. His heart is obviously broken, but, man, you can't tolerate this. He's out in the hallway of an apartment house. If this was your daughter, would you be scared? Pueblo police, they will do nothing. They will do nothing. Now, Summer, that's typical, isn't it? That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah. That doesn't, like, that's normal.
How long were you with this guy?
Almost 2 years.
Okay, so he just can't take the breakup.
No.
You know, Summer, I have to tell you something. When a guy is like this and that emotional, it can be very, very dangerous. I swear to God it can. And you...
Everyone's telling me that, and I think I'm just in shock, but I'm definitely starting to feel that because he still will not leave me alone, and he keeps sending me pictures of our dogs and telling me that they miss me, and just...
I feel so bad for the guy. I do. I feel bad for him. But, man, what do you do? What do you do?
I have no idea.
And a restraining order would help. These girls are literally afraid to be home.
Now, the guy sounds so unstable. It's insane. 29 years old. He sounds like a 14-year-old.
It's scary. That's all I have to say. It is really scary.
Yeah.
And so, people, I urge you, and I'm serious now, don't call the emergency line, but I urge you to tell the Pueblo police that they have to take domestic situations way more seriously. They have to. Listen, this is wrong.
You know, we've got it's a weird time to bring this up, but we've got a free course maybe she could take.
Yeah, I don't want to, well...
Add fuel to the fire? I don't know.
I don't want to encourage that. I mean, God, if she ever even had a gun near her and this guy saw it, it would be over.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to mess with that. But yeah, he's talking about a firearm safety course, but I don't think having a firearm's going to help here because it would just escalate things. Also, I don't know. She's in an apartment house and this guy's out in the hallway, right? Don't you have apartments around? Allie, or Summer, let's talk to you.
Yes.
Do the neighbors hear him?
No one's complained so far, and thankful for that, I guess. But, yeah, everyone kind of keeps to themselves around here. It's all college living, so no one, no one's really trying to intervene.
Okay. God, what would you guys do if this is your daughter here, Summer? What do you do? Pueblo police say there's nothing they can do. They will not go get him. They know where he is. I mean, Summer knows where he is. They won't go get him. Now, okay, maybe they don't serve him. I'm saying don't serve him, but arrest him. This is harassment. Now, we got to get him served. That's the first thing. And if he's going to show up at the house all the time, we need to hire somebody to serve him or have somebody out there.
Tom, they said they couldn't arrest him.
Why?
Since the DV happened, I believe she said it was last Tuesday.
And it was witnessed, too. He slapped her. He went to her job and slapped her in the face in front of people.
Yeah, they said that because it was like within 24 hours or something, they couldn't arrest him.
What do you mean?
What do they live by? A whole different set of rules?
Summer, why did Pueblo, when in front of witnesses, he slapped you and grabbed you, what excuse did they have for not arresting him?
They told me they couldn't find him, and he's unemployed. He drives a very noticeable vehicle.
What does this have to do with 24 hours? That you're saying, Allie?
They couldn't find him that night, so they have to wait. They have to wait until the warrants are processed, but the warrants still aren't processed.
the warrants are not processed, and this happened a week ago that he slapped you in the face?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, he slapped you in the face, and Pueblo police refused to make an arrest. A young woman is assaulted in a public place at a restaurant. This guy comes to her house repeatedly, and they refuse to do anything. Flat out refuse. This is Pueblo police. Now, if something happens to Summer, this is on the radio. I hope to God nothing happens. But this boy, I believe, is unstable. We have a problem. We have a serious problem. 303-713-TALK. Can we get Joe Lazara on the line and talk about this and as far as restraining orders and stuff?
I'll try him, Tom.
And why the police are not going for him? And Joe Lazara is good if you need any help with, yeah, he's a criminal defense attorney, by the way, but he can give you advice on restraining orders and getting help like this because he knows about it. He knows a lot about it. And he answers questions for people. 303-429-6200. Again, he's a criminal defense attorney, but what he does is because he deals with this all the time, we can ask him what the process is and why he thinks Pueblo police is not arresting them. Joe has helped us a lot. He also handles, of course, traffic and DUIs. 303-429-6200.
Okay, my concern. Why is she letting him get close enough to where she can fucking record him?
Well, he's outside their door.
I would not even engage.
But he's in the apartment. She's in the apartment. Oh, why did she go out there and talk to him?
Yeah.
Because she was asking him, please leave.
No. But she needs to get on the phone and say, I have a crazy man outside my door. I'm very scared.
They did.
And they would not come?
No, they don't come.
They take 5 hours, so by the time they get there, he's
There's
gone.
nothing there.
It's such a poor community.
Oh
It's
my God.
unbelievable.
And that, you know what, that's what it is.
It is. They have no resources.
They
They have no tax dollars.
Lots of crime down there too. Lots of
Oh, drugs.
a lot of drugs. Yeah. Big gang area. Yep.
Wow.
It's a probably
Yeah, I don't want to ever think.
probably worse than in Colorado.
No. Well, actually, maybe it is Pueblo County, but I can't think of the name.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure because we've never done that. Okay, do you want another one? Oh, I thought that's what you're laying on the floor.
No, I was. Okay.
Any problem you have in your car for just $89 parts or free. But you get more than just free. You get a complete diagnostic.
Can't think of the name.
report. And even if they can't fix it, at least you'll know they've taken out all the unknowns. 303-781-9858. 303-781-9858.
It is scary. My 25-year-old just went for a breakup in Chicago.
Oh, really?
My 25-year-old Victoria. She lives in
Did I meet
Chicago.
her? I've never met her.
You haven't met, well, I sent a picture because we were going to fix her up with
my friend.
yeah.
I met the other two, right?
Yeah.
And this one is the oldest.
No, my oldest is here in Akron. I have 6 kids.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I didn't meet that one either.
You met my 2 youngest,
Okay,
Julian and Kailani. But Julian was crazy, and it is scary. You know, he's stalking her and showing up at
Did
the
anything
apartment.
happen?
No. So, no. They're desperate, right? But
I
you don't
feel,
ever
don't
want
you kind of feel bad for the kid in a way?
Of course, they gotta get
Yeah,
over on
that's
themselves. They
ridiculous.
gotta make other people's
Well, I
lives.
worry about what if he hears this?
Well,
right?
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I know.
There's only one worse in Pueblo as far as cities in Colorado and crime. You'll never guess what it is. Glendale. There's like 10 people that live there.
Wow.
Isn't that where the strip bar is? And the mayor owns a strip bar or something weird.
Shotgun Willie's.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, and that's not fair to put in there because it's so different per capita.
Well, that's the thing is, yes, and it,
You have one crime in there and it could be at the top.
I'm chipping away here, Kev. On the third
Seinfeld
hour.
doesn't come up with you giving up, I take it on why did you,
Oh, hold on. Why did he cheat?
why did he say cheating in the contest?
I'm trying to think. I don't know what he would say.
So
Why?
funny, you guys.
God, I almost remember. I can almost picture him saying
They were going down, right?
They were going down.
Yeah, and it's I love you and all
That's
this
the
other
lane
crap.
saying that.
Because he's a cheater, a liar, because
That's
I'm a
right.
liar.
Because I'm a cheater. That's what they said. Why did you join?
I'm a cheater!
Why did you cheat?
I love nothing more I love nothing more than the interaction and banter they have.
Oh, absolutely.
The Jerry with his parents, because it's so much like Italians and Jews are the same. Oh my God, Stephanie and I last night were laughing our asses off when we were watching these two people talk to Jerry, and the father is so obnoxious. You stole my wallet, you bum! You know when he went to the doctor?
Oh, the doctor, yeah.
He was what kind of a clip joint you running here? Oh, God. And he wouldn't pay the bill. Leo got mad because he made a special appointment for him. It was so funny. What kind of a clip joint you running here? He said, big bucket.
Or George's dad is even worse than him.
Oh, yeah, but they're different. It takes 3 seconds for that mom and dad to start arguing. They start.
Tell me they didn't make a perfect couple on that show, though. Those two interacted like crazy.
But Jerry's parents said, I love her. Dad. Did you hear the one where Kramer was going to run for the homeowners association?
The sheriff's office just called in summer, but she didn't answer.
What's the city called? What city was he running for?
No, it wasn't the city, it was the HOA.
Yeah,
but he was going to, and he wanted Kramer to run. Hold on.
This is something, too.
Wait, he wanted Kramer to run, and he was going to run a puppet administration.
He was going to be the puppet administrator.
The puppet administration.
And they gave out the cheap calculator.
And they said the press was going to kill him.
It's not a tip
that like the HOA Times.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. All right, folks, seriously now, this thing, you know, we have a lot going on this show, but this domestic thing in Pueblo is unbelievable, and you will not believe the emails and complaints we're getting off the air about Pueblo police and how they do not respond. So even if they call when this guy is outside the door, just play a snippet again. Just go into the middle of it. Just a snippet. And let's just hear this again. This is outside their door, late at night, around midnight, in their apartment.
I love you. I love you.
For like 2 seconds.
I love you with every inch of my...
I don't care.
Now, he goes on and on and on, and I feel sorry for the dude, okay? But he can't be doing this. He's a 29-year-old man. And Allie, when you investigated this, they told you he shows up how many times a night? How many times?
Sorry, what did you say?
What did they tell you? He shows up how many times?
So he showed up at least once a day, like for the last week and a half, and they basically told us that it's put on, or they told, what Summer told me is that they put them on a list on whoever not first come first serve. Basically, it's how bad the incident is.
So in other words, even though he shows up there every day, they don't consider it important.
Yeah, basically not.
So they wait until something happens? Is that how it works? So we need to get him served. We need someone to be there in Pueblo when he shows up to serve him. That's what we need. We need a process server to help us out in Pueblo. If you are one, give us a call. A private detective, I don't know.
Anybody can serve him.
No, anybody can, but I don't know how I want to get personal, just private citizens involved if this guy gets crazy. I don't want anybody to get hurt, really.
This makes me nervous, Tom.
Yeah, I know. And that's why I don't want to make fun of the guy, because I don't feel that
sounds like he's having a mental breakdown.
Do you want to say how old he is? That's
29.
Scary.
He's a depressed person, and listen, we all know that heartbreak can be terrible, right? And you got to feel for the guy. You can hear the pain in his voice. But okay, enough is enough. These girls are afraid. And here's the amazing thing. Pueblo police will do nothing. They don't try. See, they out and out admitted to Daphne, no, we do not consider this a crime. We do not consider this a problem. And even the district attorney said they don't consider it a problem. And she said, but they're showing up multiple times. And they said, well, there's no restraining order. And they said, yeah, we have one, but he hasn't been served yet. Didn't they say that the police... Now, I did not know the police serve restraining orders to begin with. That's the part I'm confused about. Didn't the court tell them they had to have them served, or did they say the police would do it? I don't understand that at all.
The police just made it seem like they were going to serve it, but that they couldn't find him, so that there was nothing that they could do about it.
Okay, well, I think that when you have a restraining order, Mark, as I remember, don't you have to have it served? I don't think they automatically serve it.
No, you got to have it served. Of course, how would the person know not to stay away?
I don't think it's the police's job to serve that. But they said they couldn't find him, and that's what I find.
No, they should. The police, in this circumstance, if this was somewhere else, would generally go serve the guy.
Oh, they would?
Yeah.
On a restraining order?
Yes, of course.
Okay, all right. So a restraining order they would serve. Again, if you find Joe Lazzara, let's
I'm looking for him, Tom.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. John has a question about immigration visas. Go ahead, John.
Hello.
Hi, John. What's your concern here, sir?
Well, I'm trying to get an immigrant visa for my wife to come here to America from China.
From China, and you're having a problem?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's a long process, and, you know, I've been working on this for about 3.5 years or so.
Why does it take so long?
Well, because apparently their office is really, really busy, and it takes a long time for them to respond to requests or to process any paperwork I give them.
But what about all this talk about how easy it is to get into America? I thought it was easy. And you're telling me you could not even get a visa for 3 years? Let's listen, we got an immigration attorney on our referral list.
Yes. Is it Muheisen?
Muheisen, right. Let's get him on the air and talk about this, okay? You hold on. We'll try to get you some legal advice here.
Maybe you could fly her into Mexico or Canada then
and just have her walk over.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Put on a sombrero and walk over. They don't care. Then you're, you know. Anyway, we have a lot going on. You stick around, and then we'll figure out what's happening with Pueblo police, the Keystone Police, who will do nothing about domestic violence or the threat of domestic violence. They basically say it's not high on their priority unless a crime is committed, meaning they have to be hurt first. That's disgusting. And that's Pueblo, still living in the 20s or 30s. We got more coming up. Just because you hear all kinds of commercials from lenders...
I don't know if that's a mail order bride. The guy he's calling, I'm like an older gent, is coming from China. Didn't that you think that at first?
I was going to say Russia.
I mean, I hate to say that.
Where it was, I think you're
no,
right.
Russia's worst. I mean,
Russia is
they'll ship them over in those containers.
I one time in Boulder went to a cookout, you know, at this, somebody invited me to, and this guy had to be in his late 60s. At the time, I wasn't in my 60s, but he was way old. And this girl was in her 20s. He married, and I think she was Russian or something. I'm thinking to myself, you know, what a moron. How do you do that? How do you do that? I don't care what you say. That's not love.
I have an uncle.
You can't have anything in common with a girl.
I have an uncle that was a runway model for Gucci and Prada.
Your uncle?
As good looking a man as you've ever seen in your entire life. Okay, if I show you his face.
I must say so myself.
Yeah, and young guy, never had a problem getting women. Got a mail order bride from the Ukraine.
Why?
I have no idea. It's the weirdest thing ever. They're
got to be some kind of
3 years,
power they
4
feel
years.
something.
The weirdest thing I've
I don't
ever
know if
seen.
this is true, but I hear that.
And I mean, guys,
well, you know, I want a woman who respects a man. What they mean is, you know, that the subservient is what they're saying. That's what they're saying. They want somebody who's just
They last. I don't even know if they lasted 3 years.
My brother got hoodwinked to some girl from Latin America, and
did he bring her over?
She said, "Here's what she said: I'll pay you $5,000 or something." I hear this is what it was. I wasn't there, but he's saying. So he married her. She gets American citizenship, and then she decided, "I'm not going to leave you. I really love you." You know. Well, that's fine because he liked her, I guess. So they stayed together another few years, and then she finally did leave eventually. So, but here's the deal: he's nuts. So I can see why she wanted to leave. But she gave him $5,000 in the beginning, and then he married her, really married her. And then, when she left, she gave him the condo free and clear.
Gave him?
She was a nice girl.
So she was straight up.
She's just nice. She was nice to him. And
of course, you know that's totally illegal.
What is? Oh yeah, of course. Well, my brother is unfortunately.
Remember Chauncey, the one we got for the turkey hunt for him and his cute little girl? He said he and his buddy will be in Pueblo on Saturday. He's happy to go serve him if the girls can tell him where he's at. So what would the girls need to get from the police?
Let's talk to
Okay, and then the next thing is, I can't get Joe, he's so difficult. Want me to get Fuller? He does criminal.
Yeah. Let's get Fuller. That's a great, and I'll work with you.
Sure. I'll tell Ken.
8 hair colors and 9 hairstyles, including a man bun and cornrows.
Man buns look stupid. Man buns.
This report is brought to you by Bell Home
Those things, you know, guys with long hair that wear a bun. Do you think there's
No, not at all.
God, Stephanie loves my hair short. She loves it short.
Oh, I got a trivia. Caprio, you know what I'm talking about?
Leonardo?
Yeah. What sitcom was he on? Where did he get started well before acting?
Friends? Everybody gets their start.
I'll give you a choice of 2.
I know it.
I'll give you a choice too.
If you give me a choice, there's going to be a guess there. What is it?
It's not Family Ties.
Oh, you're talking about.
He was
way back.
Oh my gosh, he was little.
It was same time as Family Ties, but it wasn't Family Ties.
Sorry,
Facts of Life?
No, a little after.
Summer is on 6, she talked to the police.
Why?
Because they called while she was on the air. So she has an update, she talked to the police.
Good.
Matt, who was it?
Growing Pains.
Yeah, Growing Pains.
All of those.
He was
like,
an adopted little kid. Did you see that the other night?
No, I remember it.
All of those sitcoms kind of blend in for me. I can't remember.
At that one period of time, they did.
Yeah,
my wife
so
was in
many
love
of
with Kirk Cameron when she was a little kid. So
Man, he got a little strange.
But he does all of those Christian end time movies.
Yeah, I know. You know what? He's not even a good actor.
No, he's not. He's a nice dude.
Yeah, he is. Well, yes, he has what I call his brand of Christianity is a tiny bit hateful, a tiny bit. I mean, with the way he talks.
Tiny bit. He said some pretty outrageous shit
the
over
way he
here.
talks about people, you know.
Gays and
Oh my gosh, that's right. Growing pains with Alan Thick.
he's dead.
I know. So sad.
I like Alan.
His kid hit it pretty big, though.
Good guy.
Or at least he hit it with the one song.
And he
No,
lost
way more than one song.
almost all that money though, because they nicked the beat from Marvin Gaye.
Oh, that's right.
So they lost it, him and like whatever the 2 guys he wrote.
And he said it was actually truly not.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
And you know, Trenner talked about that. Mark Trenner saying that even if it's incidental, if you do it, and he said he was very surprised.
Well, they're suing Zeppelin for Stairway to Heaven. I don't think that's closed yet.
Why? Who is suing?
There's some, I think, Australian artist or something that wrote a riff that sounds like Stairway.
That is one of the most beautiful songs.
Yeah, and they say that it was 2 years prior.
Isn't it a beautiful song?
It is.
Yeah.
It's huge.
That's one of the most beautiful songs.
I like Hotel California, too.
I liked it, too.
Yeah. But the best songwriting duo is Leonard and McCartney. My God in heaven,
Did you see that trademark's about to expire?
There was
I saw
well,
something.
I thought Michael Jackson bought it.
He did. But apparently, Lennon's estate, they say, stands to make about $550 million in like 2 years. So Yoko settled with Sean.
Well, why?
Undisclosed for like $100 million.
Yoko settled with Sean.
Or not Sean, Julian.
But I thought that Michael Jackson owned all the rights.
Apparently,
that was the biggest asset in his.
It was, and
estate.
apparently there's some kind of trademark that expires in 2 years. There was a show on the other day.
It could have been. It could be Apple, because
you know what? It might be Apple Records.
Because Apple Records, Apple wanted to buy. You know,
and Apple owns like Badfinger and all kinds of bands that have.
So does it become just worthless in 2 years? Is that what they're saying?
I don't know.
No, there's some kind of. I want to say there's like a 45-year expiration on those kinds of things, something like.
Michael Jackson, and I didn't even know they were for sale. Somehow acquired the rights to Lennon McCartney.
Yeah.
Which
Well, then he
released
them back to
songwriter.
Sony or something like that when he started having money troubles.
I don't know.
Some kind of deal.
He put it up as collateral.
Because it was one of his biggest assets.
This is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your consumer advocate, a troubleshooter where I shoot trouble for you. All you have to do is call us. We have so many things going on. You know, last week, for example, let me give you an idea. A guy calls in and says, I need a hoist, a lift to get my wife out of bed. She's paralyzed. can't get out of bed. I can't get her out of bed. I'm disabled. I'm in a wheelchair. I need to get her in and out of bed. Medicaid said it's not a medical necessity because she can live in bed. So we are doing this show, and right during the call, a guy calls and says, I buy and sell estates and estate property, and I happen to pick up one of these lifts and I want to get rid of it. Isn't that wonderful? However, there is one small problem, or two small problems. It needs a sling, the actual thing she sits in. The lift is there, but she needs a sling. They need a sling, if you know where we can get one. Also, a 14-volt power supply. Or is it 24?
No, it's 24-volt power supply.
24. Oh, sorry.
And it's an Ultra Left 2000X. That's the
but 14 volts, I believe, is 14 volts. Although
24 volt.
I keep saying 14. 24 volt. It's a power supply, DC. So it needs to convert. So it's something that it plugs in the wall, and then it needs 24 volts. Come to think of it, I have seen those. They can be. I wonder if it could be powered with car batteries. 2 car batteries. Anyway, we're trying to get this working. If anyone has any knowledge about them, or a 14-volt power supply, a 24-volt. Geez, I'm writing that down. 24-volt power supply. I was thinking if you get a dial-up charger, the ones that you can dial the different voltages, maybe you just plug that in, and then the leads are, you can attach and hardwire.
They appear to be pretty cheap.
What?
Just the whole units.
Used ones.
Mark, I didn't know they were. These powered units were going, I saw even for 9,000 and 10,000. You're saying they're way cheaper? This is a motorized,
$500.
It's a motorized Hoyer lift.
It's the exact model.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we just try to get that then. You're serious. The whole
I'm
thing.
sure. I'm sure it's like walk-in tubs and anything. When it's being paid for with Medicaid, it probably costs 20 times more.
Anyway, I'm going to introduce our guest. I have to do that right now. Compass Insurance Group, they're having their insurance day, and I have not been publicizing that. I hope we're getting calls. It's 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. It's our insurance checkup day where you call. If you've had insurance for 2 years or more with the same carrier, I know you're paying too much. About 85% of the time you're paying too much. People that tell me, I've had this American Family, or I've had Farmers, or State Farm, I've had them for 25 years. I know in my heart you're probably paying 40% too much. Here's the deal, folks. Insurance companies do not reward longevity. They don't. It's what I call the creep-up syndrome. Premiums creep up, coverage creeps down. So I urge you, no matter where you do it, get an insurance checkup. Now, what Compass does is we'll compare your coverage to about 25 companies. And they'll tell you if you have a great deal. So you call 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. We're going to have some examples coming up. We're going to keep those lines open till 4 today. So tell friends about it. There's no obligation at all. It's totally free, and you could save hundreds and hundreds of dollars. 303-771-HELP, okay? Now, we were talking about immigration. John says he wants to get his wife from China. He's been working on it for 3 years. So let's go back to that call. Then we're going to have an update on the sexual harassment. Well, I don't know if you call it. It's not sexual harassment. It is just harassment in Pueblo, and how the police were non-responsive. I'm going to recap that. But John, your problem, you have a wife in China. How long have you been married?
About 5 years or so, 5 or 6 years.
Did you go over there to get married?
Yeah.
You went over there?
Yeah. I lived in China for maybe 8 or 9 years.
Wow, is that how you met her?
Yeah.
Did you go over there for her, or did you meet her while you were there?
I met her while I was there.
Cool. What were you doing over there?
I was teaching English.
Oh, very cool. And so why couldn't you just get a visa and bring her home if you're married? It doesn't work that way?
Well, No, we have lots of forms that we have to fill out.
See, I know nothing about it. Why would it take 3 years? What have you been doing over these last 3 years?
Well, I've had to fill out some forms and pay some fees.
And you've done that?
Yes, and then we have to submit some supporting documents to prove who we are and things like that.
And you've done that?
Yeah.
Has she ever been rejected?
No. We had to submit the forms first, and then we were finally able to schedule an interview where she could show up.
When does that happen?
That happened in February.
And then what? What's the next step?
Well, then they hold on to her passport, and they should be able to put in a visa into her passport so that she can enter.
Did they do it yet?
No, not yet.
All right. You don't know what the holdup is, basically.
No, not really, because over the last 4 months or so, a couple of the forms or a couple of the documents that we submitted had expired, so we had to submit.
Do them again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. We have on our referral list for many, many years an immigration firm, an immigration attorney, Jay Muheisen, I'm going to bring up, and he'll help us out here. Jay, are you there, sir?
I am, Tom. How you doing?
Good. Thank you very much. We want to talk about this. Now, first and foremost, Jay, unless you do it, I guess, illegally, this notion that it's easy to get into America, that's a myth if you do it legally.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that statement, Tom. It's not always very easy, as the gentleman caller is explaining to you.
Are some countries, flat out I'm going to ask this because I don't know, are some countries more difficult to get in from?
Absolutely. I mean, look, you have more than 200 countries out there with a U.S. embassy and consulate in each of those countries that deals with visas and immigrant visas, such as this gentleman's case. And certainly, some, as you would expect, when you have that many offices, some are going to be more efficient than others, some are going to be more friendly than others, and certainly some of them are going to be busier than others. So yeah, there really is a big difference across the world in how we see these visas processed.
All right. When you get married to someone outside of the country, that's not an automatic entry?
That is correct. When you get married to somebody outside the country, you have to go through a process of petitioning for them, and the end result is that they get what's called an immigrant visa. That immigrant visa will allow them to come to the U.S. and enter as permanent residents, and then they would receive a green card in the mail a little bit of time after that.
But they want to make sure the marriage isn't a sham, right?
That's exactly right. I mean, usually in a marriage case such as this one, that certainly is a very important issue that needs to be proven by the petitioning U.S. citizen, the gentleman caller, and his spouse.
All right. So, what is the hang-up? Why would it take 3 years?
Yeah, it should never take 3 years, Tom. A year, yes, not unusual.
Okay, so John,
not unusual.
Have you ever thought about using an attorney?
I hadn't thought about it until recently because...
So what is your question? You have now a really good immigration attorney on the phone. You can ask him questions. What do you want to ask?
Well, I really just want to have the visa approved quickly because...
After 3 years, right?
How much does that usually cost?
Well, look, Tom, if I could just say something here.
Go ahead.
You're dealing with a big bureaucracy, and you have a number of steps you have to go through before you get where you are now. So the fact that his wife had this appointment at the embassy and has gone this far means that he's gone through most of the steps. The fact that it's taken 3 years tells me that probably along the way there's been little hiccups. And the problem is when you have 20, 30, 40 things you have to do, if one of those steps is not done correctly or an expired form is provided or something like that, that's going to delay it by several months. So I'm guessing here that he's really struggled to get to the point where he is now.
Right. Now
That's
what?
why it's taken 3 years. Now he's at the end. The fact that they gave her the appointment, that they've asked for her passport, tells me that they're pretty close to issuing the visa. What he needs to do at this point is fully cooperate. If they ask for you to come, ask him how high.
Okay.
Ask for another copy of whatever.
So, John, you know, you already went through the pain, and you want to get it done quickly. That's too late.
Oh.
You know, I mean, it's pretty much... Now, you know, Jay, I'm sure, would answer some questions for you off the air if you wanted to call him. And, you know, I don't know if you need an attorney at this point, but he would not... you know, obviously wouldn't recommend you hire an attorney unless you did need one, but you can ask him a few questions. But, John, it's really just the normal process, and why it took this long, no one knows. He'd have to look at it for us to know. By the way, Jay can be reached if anyone needs an immigration attorney. Muheisen. Jay, what other kind of law do you do? I never really asked. What other kind of law?
Well, Tom, as you know, my brother, Wadi, he handles criminal cases.
That's right. He does defense,
And we also have, we also handle family law cases, and we also do some personal injury.
Okay.
A lot of our clients are legal immigrants or children of legal immigrants, and that's kind of the flavor of our law firm. But those are the areas of law we do. Tom, I just want to, before you let me go, I just want to add one more thing for John. Is his name John?
Yes.
John, listen, one thing you can do is go to the particular office where the case is at website, and you can get an email address off of there, and you can communicate that way. It's very important that you keep the line of communication open, and you always be informed on if they're waiting for something, make sure you get it to them. It sounds to me like you're pretty close to getting this done, and I'll be very happy to, if you need me to answer some questions or help you communicate with them, just get a hold of my office, and I'll take care of that for you for no charge.
We appreciate that very much. By the way, Muheisen, it's 303-407-0453, 303-407-0453. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, I highly recommend for the new treatment on tinnitus. It's called Desincra. And they're the only ones that will let you try it out with no obligation to see if you feel any progress. They also let you try out hearing aids. So Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center is truly in it to help people. And they let you try things out before you have to commit to them. No one else does that. And they help with hearing loss or tinnitus or both. 303-534-0163, 534-0163. Their website is helpforringing.com.
This report is brought to you by Lowe's Door. Branches on I-25 and I-70, I-25 southbound branch at 38th Avenue.
What's that subject?
Oh, this is lotion. Yeah, this is lotion. Do hand massages.
Yep. You know what? That, I believe, relieves more tension than anything in the world that I can talk about it. You know what? I'm surprised you said that, because that's almost like, it's almost like, what do you call it? Reflexology on the feet.
So my goal is to get into corporations, right?
Oh, I want to mention that. Somebody wrote to me about that. Let's talk about it.
But this is something we can go into corporations and just sit at the desk. Do you know how much that would, number one, release stress?
My hands carry more tension. I swear to God, my arm and hands carry. Where do you carry your tension? My hands literally ache.
It's a big giant.
Oh, my feet.
Some people. Oh, really? Yeah. Some people say their necks or their shoulders. Not. It's my. For some reason, my hands.
I guess you don't realize until after maybe you do it and stuff.
And my arthritis too.
Here's an example.
What do you use your hands
this for 1/10 the price.
Really.
And they have a lot of nerve endings, and it's like,
buy and build.
And the feet. People love their feet massaged. Really?
I know.
Yeah.
But my hands, nothing trumps it, because the nerve endings are just incredible. It's like reflexology. I mean, you actually, literally, can you can give therapeutic pressure points.
Well, I think that is the pressure points, right? And you guys probably learn that as well as.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you guys do acupuncture?
No, not at the retreat. We call them retreats.
Okay.
Up in Loveland, they do cupping. I do, yeah. Now look at this. Okay.
What do you think of that? That's a great thing.
You know, so I address the fascia.
Yeah.
This. Let's feel how this feels. Yeah, so the fascia is what lines your entire body from the top of your head to this is very light, but this is going
yeah,
to...
but I don't mind pressure. That is,
really?
what is that?
You don't, this is called a rock blade, but you don't need a lot of pressure because fascia doesn't like a lot of pressure. So when you release the fascia, it's going to release your muscles. And that's the biggest, yeah, it's like the biggest myth when people go, I want deep tissue, I want deep tissue. Because then the body fights back.
Well, but I thought that was part of the healing process when you separate. I thought in what do you call it,
Rolfing.
When you really go deep like that, I heard that it's that rebuilding that when it reattaches, it gets stronger and it's almost like a scar tissue.
In my experience with craniosacral therapy, it's the light touch that it's like children. You can beat a child into submission, or what they're going to do is they're going to grow up angry, they're going to fight back, or you can love a child in submission.
So you don't do deep tissue?
I do deep tissue, but it doesn't feel like I do deep tissue. Because I go deep in the body, but you can go deep in the body with an extremely light touch. That's the power of craniosacral therapy, and it's a power tool for massage therapy. Yeah. So Massage Heights, that's where they set themselves apart because of the essential oils that they use and their lotions, all natural.
I love eucalyptus. Do you like that smell?
Yeah.
God, I love it.
Yeah.
Just the natural, the whole aromatherapy I think works.
I do, but I bet you I left it in my car. This is energized. Yeah, there's one that we call Breathe.
No, this is nice. Really
Isn't it nice?
Yeah. Really nice.
So yeah, so you feel the difference in your arm,
Yeah.
in your hand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You tell you what, you know a lot about it. You're not just a masseuse, you really know your stuff.
I love it.
You do?
I do.
See, I was going to ask that stuff, and we'll have them.
I do. And but you know what? And I love relationships.
We'll have her come in one day and do in the office. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I can do chair. I do. I have my chair on my table in my car. I always have it.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Did you get acupuncture here on the radio once?
Yeah. Acupuncture, you don't just feel instantly, though.
Really?
Anybody coming from anywhere into this country.
Thank you. That's
on Denver's
I don't know who does not like
How many? Do you have a couple more minutes? Because you got to do the other hand.
I will.
Okay.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Massage Heights with us too, in addition to Compass Insurance Group. By the way, Compass, remember the insurance hotline for free quotes and comparisons. Free, no obligation. You can only save money. You can't do anything else. Because all you have to say is no. So call them at 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. Now, I just got a hand massage on one hand, and I got it to Massage Heights with us, and I love massage. I think it's really important for your health. Good massage therapy, and they go to corporations and they can set up in a room, in a conference room or somewhere, and do massages. We had an email from someone who said that we've had Massage Heights here. By having them go to our offices of our clients. Oh, and their staff. Oh, they do it. So these guys provide Massage Heights, and they let them go to their clients' offices. That's a pretty good Benny. Could you imagine having a company having Massage Heights go up and it's compliments of your accountant or your attorney? That would be cool. Anyway, the feedback is that massage really releases the workday stress, and productivity actually increases. And from personal experience, I highly recommend massage as an ingredient for your wellness, and this comes from Core Contractors. I don't know if you know him or not. But
Yeah, I do. I know him well. And he did. He purchased massage for all of his insurance companies that refer him business, which I thought was brilliant.
That's
he
very
gave
nice.
the gift of health versus cookies.
So
or
when
wine.
you do that, do you do that as a like a full day or half day or hourly? How do you do that when businesses want you to come in for their whole company?
Right. So I was just at Comcast. Comcast did the same thing. They brought me in for chair massage. And they hire us per hour.
Okay.
We have a 2-hour minimum, and we
You do as many people?
as many as we can, and we can bring in multiple
What are they, like
therapists.
20 minutes, 15 minutes?
Actually, we do 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Depending, yeah.
That would be fun.
Mhm.
All right. And we want to go back to Summer. We were talking about this situation in Pueblo where her ex-boyfriend will not stop coming by, begging her to go back to him. And basically, they are very lax. Pueblo police would not do anything. Seriously. We called the DA, we called the police, and they say there's nothing we can do. It's not, they literally told us it's not high on their priority because a crime has not been committed. And we say, but what about the repeated, the guy comes 4 and 5 times a night, and he comes after midnight, and he pleads and cries in the hallway, and they said that there's nothing they can do. And then she got a restraining order but has yet to serve him. And the police say they can't find him to serve him, yet everyone knows where this guy is all the time. He also publicly slapped her in the face in a restaurant where she works. It was witnessed. She has a witness willing to talk. Pueblo police would not press charges. Imagine that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that wouldn't be tolerated in Denver for a second. These guys arrest. They don't need any evidence. If you say this guy hit me, I mean, you're getting arrested. I mean, that's how they do it. You're going to get arrested. Then they ask questions later. So, Summer, did you talk to Pueblo police while you were on the air? Coincidentally, they called us. I mean, they called you. I'm sorry. And what did they say? They heard you on the radio?
No, the sheriff's office. So the sheriff's office is the one that serves the restraining orders, and I've been hounding this lady, and then
and so have we.
They served it yesterday.
They did?
Yesterday. Yep, they got it served yesterday.
So now it's official, so the police can arrest him if he violates it.
I mean, they served it, but there's still the warrants for the initial assault aren't processed, so they gave him the warrant, but he still hasn't gone to jail for hitting me, which I think is not acceptable.
He has to at least go to a hearing. So was he served with that warrant?
Yeah, he was served with it yesterday. They
Okay,
gave
so
me,
let me get it straight. So he was served with, there are two different things. First, he was served with the restraining order.
Yes.
And he was also given the summons for assault.
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's good.
You see what little public pressure can do?
That's right, Tom.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Well, I want you to stay in touch. It's not over. And, man, he could get very upset right now. Be very careful, Summer. I'm serious. Even though you think you know the guy and you had a relationship with him, things can get very weird. Now that there's a restraining order, though, if he comes near you, I mean, you're gonna have him arrested, and they better respond. So we need to put the Pueblo police on notice, and you better, Summer, you better call and say, look, I just want to go on record as telling you the restraining order has been filed. Here's the case number. And if he shows up tonight, I expect you to make an arrest. Do that right now to be proactive. Wow. Stan has a comment. Oh, no, he hung up. He was going to talk about Pueblo. Now, we got a Hoyer lift donated for this gentleman who says his wife is paralyzed, can't get out of bed, and this is a special lift, and we said it needed a 24-volt power supply, and also it needs some kind of a sling it's missing. So Joe has a comment. Go ahead, Joe.
Tom, I've got my tongue wedged firmly in my cheek, but if you knew any pilots, they would know that a GPU or APU aviation unit is 24 volts. You can buy one of those at Sporty's Pilot Shop.
Yeah, I have one, but the interface, the plug, as you know, is that big double prong.
Right,
and
you can swap out that plug. I mean, swapping out the plug's no big deal.
Yeah, you're right. That is a 24-volt power supply. You're right.
How much are those generally?
You can get them for as little as, what, $200 or $300?
Yeah, and he probably only needs a little one. He probably doesn't need a 60 amp. He can, by the way, Tom, I was one of your common men, the guy with the Meridian.
Of course, Joe. Yes, thank you.
And, he can probably get by with it. The small ones are like 15 or 20 amps, and they're, maybe $250.
You know, the problem is Mark is finding some of these. Thank you very much, Joe. I really appreciate you listening, by the way. And I do want to take you up on an airplane ride if it's still open. I just never had a chance when you called before. But Mark, on the Hoyer lifter, why buy one of those if you can find them for what's the lowest price we can find one?
A different brand one I saw on Craigslist in Denver was, I think, $350.
Mark, maybe,
I mean, we don't know if these work or not. But.
Yeah, maybe we should make a few phone calls. Maybe have Allie make a few phone calls on this and see if we pick up a used one instead. I don't know. Figure it out. We got some lines open. 303-713-TALK. Paradigm Flooring. Flooring Denver for many, many years. And they're the ones that I called when I needed carpet. You will love Paradigm Interiors. From their bright, beautiful, big showroom on the corner of Pecos and Evans, as you're going west, it's on the right side. As you're going west on Evans, you pass Santa Fe and look on the right for Pecos. It's right on the corner with plenty of parking. Since 2003, Don and Matt have done a wonderful job bringing you high-quality merchandise. And you get a design consultant, and you get a project supervisor just for you. They're efficient, they're fast, they're courteous, they have great prices like big warehouses, but personalized attention like a mom-and-pop shop. Everything you need under one roof. 303-630-9204. Listen, if you're thinking floor coverings, think Paradigm Interiors. One of the finest companies I know.
No, I'm sure those lifts, if like say a person dies, what
They got to go cheap.
they try to get rid of them.
And estate sales.
You know, but like I say, the new sling and stuff, and
It just seems weird to me that we can get them so cheap.
there's like walkers and stuff like that for wheelchairs.
You didn't ask my personal here, but I imagine you did.
Did all of them, yes.
To get them on the job and to finish that job. Then, only if you're 100% happy, you pay.
Man, it looks like Illinois is just, holy shit. They are so broke, man.
Oh,
Illinois is broken. I'm from Chicago.
That's the first states they're going to go.
It's going to go.
It's
unbelievable.
You think it'll actually do it, bankrupt?
They have billions in unpaid bills.
Mark, can you plan on taking Ad to sparring today at 5:15 so you can talk to GM about all the logistics?
Yeah.
Okay.
How's everything going?
She's going to join sparring, so at least we
What
think.
is that here?
It's just learning to spar and be more efficient with fighting. So.
I cannot believe Mark. I
Taekwondo.
can't. Oh, that jump shit, that jump she did. That girl's brave.
She's conditional third.
God,
She's
is
working
she
on her
brave.
third.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
He really liked it.
You got to see this video. Oh my.
Oh, with Ad?
Please.
Oh my
Makes me
gosh.
sick.
Oh, it does. Yeah, I'll have to. I don't know how to show that. Dang it. Oh.
What do you mean you don't know how to show
I mean,
it?
like in here, I don't know how to
It's
show
on your
it.
phone.
It's good. Oh well, yeah, you're right. It is.
I want to show them, man. Oh.
Me and Mark are going to do it where they dunk you in a river. Like you just like do a little, like put your head in the river.
Just barely.
A few minutes left, or do we need to do it
We have
next
some
break?
time. How much time we have left?
It'll be better
3
than
minutes.
skydiving.
You want to start on this? I got my right hand done.
We have to do
If you sell a $400,000 house in the ancient church,
So this is really good for a lot of stuff.
Oh, God, yeah.
I like it.
So, chiropractors actually designed that. And what it does is, so your fascia, it's like, take saran wrap, right? And you wrap meat in saran wrap, and you wrap it tight, and the meat will shrink up, right? That's the fascia of your body. It's a three-dimensional connective tissue that goes from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. So when I say whole body, everything is connected. So if you fell on your sacrum, that could have caused your tinnitus. That could have caused it because the fascia is going to shrink all the way up your spine. There's such a thing as a sacral concussion. People don't know. Yeah, you can get a concussion from
It's just the way you do it. Remember that?
because it has tightness and restricts all the way up your spine. That's what we do.
I look over there.
I like how she walks in and goes.
So when we start releasing the fascia from the body and it responds to a very light touch, that's why it's
How do you guys live with this?
they've done ultrasound and the muscle underneath the fascia will loosen.
So far they're going down. Going into
So,
Now, when you go to massage heights, do you take on their style, or is it your truly your own style?
The one thing I love
Oh,
about
you know what the
massage
best is?
is yes,
That
they
last
take on their
episode,
style, but they
the
allow us
deleted
to be
scenes
free as well.
are
So when
spectacular.
I do
They're
cranial
almost better
psychotherapy,
than
I don't
the-
do
the
both.
show.
I'm also
I thought
certified
that
in
show
an
was
athletic club, which we won't
I
talk
thought
about on
for
here,
an
but
Indian show, I
we
thought
go
it was
to
great.
athletic club, I'm a cranial
look at
psychotherapist
this, they're
only.
bringing the dressing room table on a grocery chain, and now they're basically gonna take out every clothes
But
retailer there
Massage
is.
Heights, I do their.
Amazon's
I will
employees
work on
just
and I'll do
surpassed
their
Macy's
elevation.
this
They
year as the
call it.
largest
Always
apparel seller.
And I believe
I don't see the continuity of that purchase.
charged
I don't
extra.
get it.
Of
That makes no, of
But-
Whole Foods, it makes
Oh,
no
I
sense.
see.
Only
It makes
agree
no
with
sense to me. It makes, you guys are missing it. Distribution points.
No, well,
They have distribution.
I know,
And, you know, maybe you're right. I just, for a company that was dying on the vine the way they have the last few years,
Whole
for them
Foods?
to, Whole Foods, for them to pick them up, it doesn't seem, retail is
And people with who
shrinking,
have
and for them to buy
weird things
brick and
They need
mortar, it just
distribution
doesn't, I
points.
just don't get it.
And they're gonna crush, here's the good news for all of us, it's gonna force retail prices down like
Whole
crazy.
Foods, Whole Foods is high end.
Oh, it's the
Way
highest.
high end.
I mean,
Well, they're ridiculous, a grape is
Whole
like
Foods.
$6.
So weird.
Also said, there's nothing there's nothing healthy about it. There's nothing.
Well, I understand that, what a weird purchase, at least in my
I
opinion,
think,
it's a
so
weird
you're thinking of
purchase for
keeping
Amazon.
the brick and mortar?
They opened bookstores up. They took out every bookstore across the country and they just opened up brick and mortar bookstores.
Amazon did?
Yes.
So bookstores are actually going back, like so Barnes and
Amazon,
Noble is.
their distribution.
Yeah, Amazon opened a Prime in Denver. They said there's going to be items you get them in an hour.
Yeah, 1-day delivery. So if you
Hour delivery.
think if you order groceries.
Food you have to do that.
Yeah, I know Walmart can't say all
Okay.
Crazy. It's gonna be good for.
All right, Mark. I got a forearm and hand massage during the break. We have Massage Heights here. Mark, do you ever get massages ever? Did you ever do it?
I have a few times, yes.
Okay. How about you, Suzanne? Do you
Not
love them?
really.
No? You
Probably
don't?
not enough.
I do every 2 weeks.
You do? Yeah.
Every
See,
2
I
weeks.
used to do it every week. I just don't do it anymore, and I need to because it's just wonderful. So if you have any questions, give us a call on that. We have a guest in from the referral list. Jo Matoyer, she's with Massage Heights. Hey, if you have a corporation, you want to have her come in, they also do that. Okay, we'll give out the number a little later. We have a Compass Insurance Group. Do we have any examples coming up? Compass Insurance Group, where we do our insurance day, where you call in with your declarations page, you tell them what you're paying, and they tell you the truth. They really do. About 15% of the time, they don't make any changes, right, Matt? About 15%?
I'd say about 10. I'd say about 10% of the time.
Okay, so tell me what you've come up with today, some typical, or not typical, but some examples.
Okay, so this was today. Someone it's been long-term client of farmers. 30.
How long? Do you know how long they've been with?
It doesn't say. It said over 10 years.
Oh my God!
So they were paying $3,300 a year on their auto, $1,509 on the home, and Nick moved them to Safeco, saved them $1,870.
Can you believe
That's
that?
a great company, too. It's
Yeah.
owned by Liberty Mutual.
Yeah.
Can you imagine saving over $1,800 in one phone call? $1,800 in one phone call. Hey, Joe, when was the last time you're a guest here today? When's the last time you had an insurance checkup? Seriously, when?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Less than 6 months ago.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. Who do you have as a carrier?
I have State Farm.
Do you have to have...
They're the worst.
Do you have to have a special insurance being a masseuse?
As a massage therapist, yes. We have liability insurance, so I go through American Massage Therapy Association for my liability insurance.
So here's the deal. The bad five, just the way it is, the worst we have found when it comes to rates and when it comes to not necessarily coverage. I mean, you know, they do fight with people, but it's Farmers, State Farm, Allstate, American Family, and
The General.
Hoya.
Oh, the General's the worst, though.
But not in the
They
top
fight
five.
with their own people.
Not in the top five, though. Would you, Fred Loya, would you say that I picked the bad?
From a from a pricing standpoint, I'd say 4 of those 5 for sure. Loya's a whole different deal, man. If you look at those deck pages and what they're selling people, it's garbage. You're almost are better off not buying coverage. I mean, we'll see deck pages where they'll have 8 people excluded on their policy, and they're written in their names. I mean, their exact names are on the deck page. It's so weird, the stuff they do.
What would be wrong, though, with excluding certain people? Anyway, I don't want to really go there. I just think Fred Loya sucks.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, I think we see a lot of major issues with Geico. People think, oh, they're so cheap or whatever, and then they find out they're cheap because they got $15,000 of property damage.
Now, John Fuller at Fuller Law, being a personal injury attorney, he deals with insurance companies all the time. Did I pick the worst ones, John? Allstate, Farmers, State Farm.
I heard was Fred Loya sucks when you started the audio for me. Anyway, you had the right person.
You agree there. Okay, you agree with that cover. What about Allstate, State Farm? And that's not why I have you on the air, but I did want to ask you while you were on. State Farm, Allstate, Farmers, and American Family.
So those are what I consider the bigger players in this market. They're uniformly difficult to work with. I don't think that they suck on the level that Fred Loya or the General does. When I say that those companies suck, I largely am talking about the way they deceive their customers into writing policies that don't comply with state law and that provide horrible, horrible coverage. And then the customer service is just horrible when there are claims that come up.
Okay. So while you're on, I know you also do, I don't know what percentage, but you do a personal injury, of course, practice, which is really challenging in and of itself, mostly traffic accidents there. Do you handle criminal defense? I think you do, right, sometimes?
From time to time, yes.
Okay. So when you have a restraining order on someone, and is there anything you can do to compel the police to enforce it? I mean, if they keep saying, well, you know, we can't prove it happened, or we don't know about this, or we don't know about that. I mean, if you had a daughter who was at college and she has a restraining order, what do you do about it? I mean, short of hiring somebody to arrest them, you can't do that. You got a restraining order. What would you?
Civil or criminal restraining order?
Well, it's civil. This is a guy, an ex-boyfriend that won't stop coming by. He stands out in the hallway all night, 4 to 5 times a night, and cries and pleads with her, literally. I mean, that's what he does. I mean, it's unbelievable if you heard the recording. So, I mean, what do you do? What do you do?
Has she called the police?
Yes, they've called the police, and the police never show up.
It's Pueblo.
Or they come 6 hours later.
And Pueblo police are saying that, you know, because it's not a murder or a homicide or whatever, they're kicked down the chain.
Yeah. So
when
you have
campus police, is that a possibility?
I don't think they don't live on campus, and he doesn't come onto campus. But here's another thing. He slapped her in public in a restaurant with a witness. The police came and took a report and never arrested him because they said they couldn't find him. I mean, basically, I guess I'm asking you the impossible, because what do you do when the police are lax? I mean, I guess there is no answer to it, really. I mean...
Well, the police are not lax in my cases.
No.
So that's the problem. You know, in all seriousness, look, I don't make light of this situation at all. If I were in that same situation, I would be ramping things up with the police powers that be, and I would be filing complaints about, you know, their lack of responding. This is a serious issue.
Yes, it is.
This is clearly a domestic violence situation.
Right.
Where he's assaulted her in the past. He sounds like an unstable person that, you know, could be, could be a risk to her. And so I think, as both a parent of a college-age daughter and a criminal defense attorney, I would absolutely insist that if one of my clients was going through this, that, you know, the public information people and the higher ups, the supervisors at whatever police department you're talking about, be brought into the loop, and the squeaky wheel gets the oil, you know.
Have you ever heard of people going after someone civilly? In other words, for damages for harassment. Have you ever heard of that? I mean, you do personal injury, but is harassment something that could literally collect damages?
I don't think it would be in harassment per se, because that's kind of something that lies in the criminal code. It would be one of the more tort-oriented claims, like what? Intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Does that ever go anywhere?
It does. Actually, it does. And those cases do have merit, and you see them from time to time.
But what happens when the guy's an unemployed loser that has no job?
Right.
That was the next thing I was going to say, is you have to understand that from the perspective of the aggrieved party, though, finding an attorney to go take that case is incredibly difficult because the damages are never going to be covered by insurance. You're limited to the assets of the tortfeasor. And if he's a loser, as Mark says, then he's a loser, and that means the maximum value of any judgment that you receive is pretty much zero. So your only real teeth are to ramp up the powers that be in the criminal justice side, get him into the system. As soon as you get a violation of that civil restraining order, there immediately becomes issued a criminal restraining order. It's an 18-1001 restraining order for every case where there's a victim, and then you've got a criminal restraining order on top of the civil, and that has a lot more teeth.
Now, John, I've actually heard of people where there was a neighbor making fun of a guy. Literally, he was making fun of his neighbor. He was telling neighbors about him some lies. This neighbor, the victim, sued this guy, and honest to goodness, this happened. The perpetrator's homeowner's insurance made a settlement with the victim for insults.
Wow. That's written into a lot of policies, isn't it, Matt? It's called
what is
personal injury?
No.
Well, it'll fall into the personal injury clause. I mean, it's
John, have you ever heard of people going after a homeowner's policy for stuff like that?
Oh, we do it all the time, Tom, and to be honest with you, it's pretty amazing the stuff that homeowners insurance will cover from time to time.
Really?
We've had some crazy claims that that you wouldn't ordinarily think that coverage would be afforded, but it is. It's pretty broad coverage. It's good coverage to have.
Yes.
And don't try to skimp and save money by having the lowest limits you can get away with. It's really great coverage. I think your guest would agree.
Yeah, you know what? As coverages go, homeowners are more generous, I think, than almost any other policy, especially when it comes to injury around your house and stuff. John Fuller, by the way, if you need him, he's only a phone call away. He's helped many people. 303-597-4500, 597-4500. His website is personalinjuryco.com.
We got.
I didn't know Detroit, or not Detroit, but Illinois.
But Mark, did you know homeowners insurance will cover stuff like that? This guy sued because he was depressed. I mean, he said that the guy ruined his reputation in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the homeowners insurance stepped in.
It's on my policy. I read it. It's called, I want to say
they'll cover libel or slander depending on the policy. Now, they'll sublimit it sometimes where they won't say, they'll say.
Plus, they'll say if it's part of my job scheme, they're not going to cover it.
That's right.
Well, Blagovich is right down the street in Inglewood, in the jail.
Oh, yeah.
So he's the governor of Illinois. How many governors have been, right? Illinois is a
I just listened to, who was the guy,
corrupt state ever.
the other mayor sitting in jail is, who was the mayor of Katrina when it went down? That guy milked the hell out of that city, man.
Oh, New Orleans? Yeah, that's messed up.
He did. He milked the shit out of it.
Washington, D.C. used to do cocaine.
He was the one that had $500,000 in his freezer.
Oh, the New Orleans one.
In crack.
Wow. In Chicago?
The FBI comes in and, no, the DEA came in.
Chicago's been that way for
$500,000
years. I mean,
it's awful. And the crime, they have the strictest gun laws, and you have the highest crime rate. I had a brother-in-law that was gunned down in his truck. He was a K-9 officer. And gunned down in his truck. And I know it was an inside job, and I just know it. Because it was just, and they still haven't found the killer. How, imagine that. Yeah. Yeah.
What do they just really clowns out of office in Illinois? So, I mean,
very liberal city, but they do got a Republican governor.
And it's the mob. It's heavily in the mob in Chicago still.
Yeah, but at what point does the feds take over? I mean, it's going to happen. They've got zero money now. They can't pass a budget.
What's zero money?
It's just amazing.
But even the rest of the state's probably okay.
They're not paying out lottery things. So if you won their fucking mega money, you get shit.
So wait a second.
Wow.
Lottery.
That's messed up.
Is Illinois in the shitter really? I mean,
it's top story at Fox.
What does it owe? What does it owe?
Billions. That's what it says.
How did it get that way?
I don't know. I'm sure it's the city, right? Chicago's.
But here's the problem. 100% of the state's monthly revenue, 100%, is eaten up by court-ordered payments right now. So they have no budget for anything else. Forget pensions, forget anything. 100% of everything they take in already goes out.
What are the court-ordered payments?
I don't know. I have no idea.
When you think about home loans, think ideal home loans.
Bring your daughter back, Joe.
I have 2 kids that moved back to Chicago. Yeah.
You could pick up a mansion there for like 200 grand, man.
Almost like Detroit.
Well, I could see the hell we go there.
I wouldn't care about that.
Oh yeah, you would.
Why would I, Mark?
When your neighbors are stealing your shit.
Detroit's a mess. They have blocks and
Now
blocks
that
and blocks
doesn't
and
seem
blocks,
to
you know,
me,
people
but
there.
I'd be so brainwashed.
My house is
a lot of
there.
pressure.
Think
You
about
know,
it,
if you
like,
prove
you're saying
that
that
primary
really
residence,
is
like $1,000.
but you'd have to live there.
But they won't let people come in and buy them as rentals and stuff.
But
They
what
have to
I'm
prove it's
doing
your primary
is I'm
residence.
relaxing the fascia.
Okay.
I'm relaxing the fascia around the muscle. By relaxing the
This is
fascia around the
amazing.
muscle,
Like, even like
this is
Florida,
called
like in
instrument
Panhandle, Florida,
assisted soft tissue
they said that there's houses
mobilization.
down
By
there for
relaxing the
$20
fascia around the
$30.
muscle,
Okay.
it's mobilizing
Florida,
the
of course.
muscle. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So it's
They're living in a swamp.
But it's the fascia that is
Oh, are they?
restricted,
Okay, I don't know.
right?
No, I mean, I don't mean a swamp like their house is underwater. I mean, it's like 120 degrees with humidity.
It's 120 in Phoenix today.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
very thin
And there's
layer.
one
Yeah,
place.
Las
that-
Vegas is like 100 right now.
Our whole
American,
Whole entire body,
I
from
would
the top of
never
the
live
head
there.
I know.
to the bottom of the
Ever.
feet.
What?
My in-laws lived in Scottsdale for years, and I went there one summer. I said I would never in a million years live there. So
But in
it's a
wintertime,
cool
it's
tool.
really.
Oh, it's great. We'd go in
What is it called?
February, and it was
This is called a rock
perfect,
blade.
but
And
just
it's
not
only
for me.
because
I would go
I
down
don't
there.
like heat. I'm from Houston. When I was little, I was
and they
confused. I said I've
designed
never
it.
lived
So
in heat
there's
like
other
that.
tools that have been used
Houston,
in body
It's-
work,
none of north of New
For-
Orleans. Boy, you go
Oh
up
no, for sure.
but this is
Houston
their
is
specific
I
tool.
know
It's
Houston, but
And I like
so
it
humid.
because
yeah,
it
people
helps
say,
reduce
I don't
the
mind
body.
living in Houston.
My uncle loves
You're in
it.
the house all the time.
Yeah, my uncle thinks it's the best thing in the world. He loves the heat.
But he's in the house.
The preferred way to get your car fixed, Flexident. So, if you have hail damage, minor dings, even if you're self-paying, Flexident. Now, insurance companies love them because they don't ruin the paint. They don't ruin the car at all. In fact, downtime is minimalized or minimized. Here's the thing. When you need a repair, they will do as much as they can paintless dent repair. Even if you have some paint damage and some not, they can actually fix most of it, and then you take it to a body shop for the rest, because the more you do with Flexident, the less your car will show in wear and damage. And in fact, it's like it was never there. 303-619-6273, 619-6273. They're great people. FlexidentColorado.com. Okay, let's keep going. Emily, what's happening? Emily.
Hello?
What's going on, Emily?
Hi. How are you, Tom? Thank you for taking my call.
What's going on with this mold?
So, I found mold inside of my house on February 8th, 2017.
This is you own the home?
I was actually renting the home.
You rent the home and you found mold. You know, a lot of people overreact to mold. I'm not saying mold is not serious. Most of the time it's not. Most of the time. There's very few serious toxic mold cases. The media has blown them out of proportion, basically. We've lived with mold for years. And I just want to allay your fears a bit. Go ahead.
So, on February the 14th, the property management removed it. I asked them to get it tested.
How'd they remove it?
They just had a general contractor come in and do it.
How?
The house was, they just cut out the drywall. The house, I know for a fact, was used as a marijuana grow house for several years.
So it had a lot of moisture and mildew and all that, huh?
Exactly. And the actual sewage line blew up a few years before that. So this was my best friend's house for 15 years. I moved into it kind of knowing I could grow pot in it if I chose so to grow my own medicine. So when I was cleaning, I removed some of the materials that were used in the previous tenant's grow room underneath the stairs. I found the mold. At that time, I actually had a rash all over my body. I was having diarrhea, vomiting.
I doubt the mold's doing that to you, but I'm not going to fight with you on it. Go ahead. So then what?
Yes. So they removed it, and what happened was they just sent in a general contractor. It was right next to the heating and the AC system.
Yeah.
And after that, I proceeded to get even sicker. So in March, I woke up one day unable to feel anything but my face. And then it just has got worse through then. I was in the house till about April 16th is when I finally was like, I think it's the house. I don't know what's making me so sick. I couldn't walk. I was losing my ability to walk. And then so I went
Emily,
to court.
have you ever gone to a doctor?
I've seen so many, Tom.
I mean, a real doctor that can really do a workup to find out with blood work and stuff to find out. If toxic mold in a short amount of time is not going to do that to you. It's not.
So I lived in the house from November to April, basically. I'm still paying rent to the end of the month. So basically what I have figured out is that we don't have any mold specialists in this state. Since the state is so dry climate, we don't actually have any doctors.
So you live there November, December, January, February, March, April, 6 months?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever even do a mold spore count?
We did, sir. My mom ended up getting bamboozled by a man and paying like $1,000
for a test.
To have, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God, you can do a home test. What did they find as far as toxic spores? And first of all, did they say it was toxic mold? I mean, technically, all mold you could call toxic, but it's not. Did this if he's a bamboozler, I don't know if I'll believe him. Did he find any spores? How many? What parts per million?
He did find spores. The test came back. It says there were 700 parts per cubic inch versus, I'm looking at the mold test right now. So the main living room had a concentration from 311 to 713 spores per cubic meter compared to an outdoor concentration of 327 spores. Now, I don't really know how to read this test, but see, here's the thing. My property management
normal air is going to have 400. Just normal outside.
So we made the mistake and we didn't get it tested until April the 24th.
What are you looking for anyway? You're not living there anymore, right?
Well, technically, Tom, I'm there until the 30th of this month.
Okay, and then so what? Yeah. Let me ask you this so we can help you. What are you looking for? What's your goal?
I don't know. I just feel like the property management company went ahead and removed it.
So you have no goal.
They actually tested it.
So what are you looking for? I mean, why are you calling? I need something to help with, but I don't know what to help with.
See if you can help me. You know, to get my stuff remediated is going to cost $10,000. I don't know if I even need to remediate that. I've been so sick.
What do you mean $10,000 for remediation?
Okay, so I've talked to several different mold remediators in the state.
You know what? You are ripe for ripoff here, Emily. You are way, way, way over-exaggerating the price of remediation for clothing and articles. Hold on a second.
Do you feel trapped? That is going to be taken to the cleaners, literally.
On the top of
$10,000
I fast forwarded a little bit so I didn't bore you with...
God almighty. When are we going to have the truth about mold? When will we literally have the truth about mold?
Look at this house.
Okay.
How much? 16,000 square feet with a full guest house. Look at it. It's absolutely
Where is it?
beautiful.
Where is it?
She's got a GoPro on her wrist.
How much?
Look at this.
You know what the stratosphere looks
It's
like?
fucking all brick.
Oh, this was Vegas? Yeah. Oh my
This
God.
is just a few days ago.
Oh, how fun.
$500,000.
My girls would love this.
My wife didn't even watch this.
Oh, wait, I was like almost crying, waiting at the very bottom.
Look at heat in that.
Look at her. It's a controlled jump.
How many
You got a
acres?
house outside?
Look how far that is. It's like
so far.
Would you let your kid do this? Where's the
When we
like,
visited,
I don't know. I don't know. My wife wouldn't. I wouldn't have the choice.
Just a
so she
cement.
just going, can I jump?
Just
Can I
the
jump?
cement
Now they're
had
going
to
to tap her.
be
They like check her like
200
5 times.
But you don't know, is there
And then
a
they tap her and then she just goes.
It's just amazing, this house.
Oh my God.
15,200.
Gave me a heart attack.
What's in there? Is that like
And then Mark's up top with her.
Popcorn.
No, but I'll bet you it looks like a movie theater where
Is
you
she
walk out
going?
the
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so cool.
I'd let you work in there.
This girl wants to skydive with her dad. Like, she's
how
ready to jump out of a plane.
She'll do it. We might be able to in Mexico.
It looks like she's
like
going
I'm going to allow that.
She's not going.
Yeah, let's some unregulated skydiving in Mexico.
Why do you think
my
they're-
daughter?
why are they
not, don't
unregulated?
even put that in her
Because-
head, Mark.
God, you're so prejudiced.
No, you can go scuba diving there
Okay,
without
she's
any,
full of it about the
any
mold.
type
Because ever
of
up north,
instruction.
I was the president of the
You
HOA
don't need to
Metropolitan
be
District. We had a
patty,
mold issue.
What do you want, the
in that
government?
neighborhood.
in their hands on everything.
All I'm saying
So we
is
do
you
have
go there.
Okay, she is not, Dan,
You're right.
she is not skydiving.
Do you understand that the average, just mold in our environment, we have lived with mold for years, and it's so hyped up and so exaggerated. But seriously, though, I mean, people have made such a big deal about it, and they make it, these personal injury cases go nowhere. We can ask John Fuller about it. Ask Fuller, Suzanne, hello. Ask Fuller if he's ever, and I don't care if he says it's bullshit, because I agree, about toxic mold cases. Ask him if he's ever handled anything like that.
This one's
yeah.
This one's right on the.
Well, if she's renting, why is she paying for remediation?
Well, first of all, because she can't afford it.
Oh, yeah,
Turn off that for her clothes and her stuff.
Look at that beautiful garden.
Well, how do you remediate clothes? How would you do that anyway?
You buy new clothes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
What she got?
But you can wash them too. You can wash
Well, and how does she know it's until she removes herself from the environment?
The average shirt on Amazon is like $9.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It is. Did you see that shirt I was wearing yesterday? $15 Amazon. It's perfect.
What kind of pot were they growing? Were they infusing it with liquid Drano? Because that's what a lot of people do when they're home. Yes.
Why?
Because it gives you a different kind of high.
Really?
Liquid Drano, absolutely.
Liquid Drano?
Yep. They infuse it
People
with.
get high with that?
They infuse
What could
the
go wrong?
plants, so they take vaporizers and they vape the plants with liquid Drano. Does she know what kind of pot her friends are growing? Right? I mean, who knows?
Can't you
It
just
could
go
be
straight to
chemicals.
the Drano?
Or they take joints and they dip them, soak them
Real
in
quick,
some
he
milk.
has some familiarity with it, but has never filed a case. Do you want him?
I wanted to go ask him how she would go about trying
LeBron
to get
James is
damages
leaving.
from
That's
mold.
going to
But,
drive.
no, I don't live there. No, never mind.
Absolutely. He's born and raised in Ohio.
Nice from Akron.
Who's from Akron? My daughter lives up in Akron.
LeBron?
Yeah.
LeBron James?
Yeah.
Oh, Colorado.
Akron.
I mean, Ohio.
Yeah.
My
You're
daughter,
Akron, Colorado?
yeah, she's in
Okay.
Akron, Colorado.
He might come there.
I doubt it. Nobody would want to.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's going on in your life? Today we have our insurance day going on till 4 o'clock today. Spread the word. It's 303-771-HELP, 771-4357, Compass Insurance in the house. Basically, we're doing compare a day. You call in and say, here's what I have, here's the coverage I have. Our help center is free of charge, going over everything you have in insurance and telling you if it's a good deal or not. And I swear to you, it's not a sales job. If you don't want to buy anything, you don't have to. If they can find better coverage, they'll tell you where it is and how much it is. And that's at 771-HELP. That's a 303 number, 771-4357. Do we have any more examples? We're giving real-life examples. Every time we do this, we save hundreds and hundreds of dollars a year for people, thousands of dollars a year for people. And I will tell you this, if you have insurance, you've had it more than 2 years, you're probably paying too much. If you have State Farm, Allstate, Farmers, American Family, or Fred Loya, you're probably paying too much, automatically. And those agents, remember, State Farm, Allstate, Farmers, American Family, they cannot sell you other policies. They cannot. So naturally, even if there was another company out there that could give you a better deal, they won't show it to you because they can't. They're not allowed to. Matt, what do we have?
Well, Tom, I thought this one was a good one. We moved a longtime USAA client, and we saved them $823, but we got rid of their percentage wind and hail deductible.
That's important.
Yeah, so they had a $4,500 deductible for their wind and hail. We wrote it for a $1,000 deductible, guaranteed replacement on the home, as opposed to a capped replacement
Plus
cost.
saved them
And saved them
$800.
$823.
What else?
We saved another farmer's client, by moving their auto in their home. We saved them $578 and added an umbrella policy.
See, that's incredible. What kind of umbrella do you know?
$1 million, but they didn't have one prior.
Can you believe not having an umbrella? Now you have a million in umbrella, plus you saved what? $500. What else?
So we've got another one, a long-term State Farm client. Saved them, well, this one just says we saved them over 25%. Farmer's client was paying $3,849. We moved them to auto owners for $2,952.
Over $1,000 savings.
You know, and then we actually, Mark was mentioning that Liberty owns Safeco. and we actually moved a Liberty Mutual client from Liberty to Safeco. They were paying $4,820 a year. We moved them to Safeco, so it's essentially the same policy for $4,136. So saved them about $700 a year.
You know, can you imagine making a phone call and saving almost $100 a month just for making a phone call right now? Can't hurt you. 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. Okay, now listen, you know, I know that there are people who don't like me when it comes to certain things, when it comes to health sometimes and environment when we talk, because I don't buy BS. I go by data. That's all I go by, data. Not even how people feel. I go by data because people can feel certain ways and attribute it to something, and it may not be that something they're attributing it to. So you have to go by data. And I'm just going to tell you straight up, when it comes to mold, I get a lot of hate mail. Because mold has been with us from the beginning of time, and mold is in the air we breathe every single day. Every single day. We have high concentrations of mold, in fact, in our air, depending on where we live. In Colorado, we don't, but in other areas, we do. The Center for Disease Control and the Environmental Protection Agency both have stated repeatedly that there is no reason to check for mold because it's everywhere. And they don't even have standards. But what you have is an industry that is making money off of fear-mongering. And you have hypochondriacs who make money, or excuse me, who are looking for reasons for the way they feel. There are a lot, trust me, there are a lot of environmental factors going on in our lives. I do not doubt it. The water, the air, our lives, our food. Of course there is. And there are some people that tolerate it better than others. I'm not going to get into your personal health, but I will tell you, not one of the symptoms that Emily mentioned is a toxic mold symptom, even for the ones who believe they have toxic mold. But she is believing she is sick from toxic mold. And let's say she is. She's moving. It'll go away. There's no permanent harm recorded by toxic mold. Here's the other thing. She says she has to remediate her stuff for $10,000. Well, I want to help her, but I need to know tell me this $10,000. What are they saying they will do for $10,000? What are we talking about remediating? Your furniture?
So furniture, anything that's porous, I have to throw away. They're saying just to get, you know, any of my belongings, any of my...
So let me get this straight. So you're saying your couch, for example, is ruined?
That's what the professionals are saying to me, yes, sir.
Well, then they're lying thieves. That's what they're saying. Because if you take your couch right now, literally, and you do a test on your couch after it's been removed from that house, you will find no more mold in that couch than if you go and buy a brand new one. So I don't even understand what they're saying. Are they saying that the mold is going to get inside and attach itself and start growing?
Okay, so I think what everyone's saying are what are called microtoxins, which are in the air, are what the mold produces and what is kind of airborne that we can't see. That would be, they attach themselves to porous materials is what I've been informed of.
Okay. Emily, you're being lied to, okay? Yes, there are microtoxins everywhere we look, okay? That's why we have resistance systems and stuff. Unless this has literally been literally poisoned, your stuff is not. I don't understand. Have it tested or have someone. The problem is the tests are so damn expensive. You have people. What do they say they're going to do to your couch? Just give me an example. What would they do to fix it?
They told me that they need to throw away anything porous, so I'm not allowed to keep couches, beds, chairs. They said for everything else, they can take them and, like, de-ionize it. It was a mold. So basically, I'm...
Like, what do you mean? If it's not porous, where's the mold going to live, for example, on an end table? Where's it going to live?
That's a great question.
It's not going to. It's not going to.
An hour.
This guy should be arrested. He should be thrown in prison. You're not going to get a dime from your landlord, okay? You're not going to because you can't prove it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how I got so sick moving into this home.
Now, that could be something in the environment. I don't know, but I don't think it's the mold from what you said. It could be something in the house. I mean, but we don't have data. All we have is you're guessing. Right now, you don't have data. We don't have any true non-fear-mongering data. I'm not talking about just mold,
Tom,
but anything. Can we test?
It's because we don't have any mold specialists in this state because our climate is so dry.
There are plenty of mold specialists.
10 years ago, though. There's not any mold doctors that I have found. I've gone to neurologists, general practitioners.
There's no such thing as a mold doctor.
Well, somebody who would know a little bit more about mold.
The National Jewish, what are you kidding me? We have National Jewish here, the best for respiratory disease in the entire world.
I just got into National Jewish after like a 12-week wait list. I'm actually getting allergy tested on Thursday.
Excellent.
I've been waiting to be into them for months.
Good. They might be able to tell you. They might be able to tell you what's
Maybe
triggering.
I have a certain reaction to it.
Right.
Maybe I'm more allergic than the next person.
So,
and that could have been what made me sick.
But are you, if you're looking to collect from your landlord, it probably won't happen.
I hired a lawyer already, the Nelson Law Firm, and that ended up going south because I had paid my rent late. So instead of, I went into,
but you don't have enough data to sue.
She's just getting picked dried, man.
Emily,
I am.
What did you spend?
I've just been so sick, guys.
Let's talk about getting you better and forget about, you're not going to get any damages from this landlord. The landlord didn't do anything.
They removed it wrong. They could have tested it when it was in the house, and they could have paid for it, and they could have removed it.
They could have, but they didn't.
And you could have evicted yourself.
Emily, you don't have, Emily, you don't have any data. What I'm saying is you're spending too much energy. Here, listen, even if you're right, it would take too much time, energy, and money, and the reward would not be there. So let's concentrate on getting you better. How about that? Just forget about that.
I've just been so sick. I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
Okay, I thought so. I got to ask you something, Emily.
Stuff,
Emily, I got to ask you something straight up.
Yes,
sir. Please be honest with me. What emotional trauma has happened in your life?
This has been very emotional.
No, before that.
Traumatizing.
What in your life has changed over the last, let's say, 4 to 5 years? What? There's something else. What? If you had nothing, your life has been wonderful?
No, I mean...
Were you married?
It's just normal. No, sir, I'm single.
You're single? How long you been how old are you?
I'm 30 years old, sir.
And you've been healthy, right?
Oh, sir,
Totally.
I was healthy vegetarian.
And you can call me Tom.
A doctor.
And then you started feeling terrible.
I'm a vegetarian woman who hadn't seen a doctor in 4 or 5 years because I'm healthy.
Good.
And then I started getting sick as soon as I moved into this house. I had this rash. I had insomnia. I had diarrhea. I was puking. I was just very sick.
It could be something you're sensitive to in that house for sure. But once you remove that, Emily. But Emily, once you remove it, usually environmental things don't stick with you. If there's something you're allergic to or sensitive to, you should be able to get away from it. And I'm telling you, don't get rid of all your stuff. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to do it. Here's what you can do. You can store your stuff as an experiment. You could take your couch. We could store it in an enclosed container and then do a mold spore test. And you're not going to find anything, but you could do it if you wanted to. I'm trying to show you that what you need to do is get out of that apartment. Obviously, there is something there truly not making you feel good. I don't think it's all in your head. You got a rash and you got all that stuff. It could be a filthy, disgusting place, but I don't think it's anything actionable. What you ought to do, you are in the right hands doing the allergy test at National Jewish. That is wonderful. When are you going to get the results for that?
I go in on Thursday and Friday. I just saw so I've been trying to find doctors who know anything about mold in this state.
But forget mold, Emily. Just have doctors look for anything. Don't bracket yourself into mold. There's a reason you're feeling the way you are. Allergies is a wonderful thing. And what I mean is, it's a great category to look at because that's what it sounds like. You're sensitive to something. You're obviously having reactions. You're going to find out. This is you're doing the right test, the allergy stuff. You're doing the right stuff. It'll tell you, by the way, what you're sensitive to and what you're allergic to. They're doing the whole skin test, right?
Yes,
wonderful.
Where they poked me again.
That's going to be great. At least you'll know with data. Again, Emily, data. You know, a lot of, and I'm not saying you're going to fall victim to this, but a lot of people fall victim to quackery because they search for reasons they feel the way they do. Here's another thing you're going to find, which is weird, is that a lot of people never find exactly what is wrong with them, and they have to deal with it. They just have to move on because the way we live now in this world, there are a million things that could make us sick. I mean, there are. And if you just, what you do is you get as healthy as you can to combat it. And then those little things are fought off by your body naturally. The allergy thing is the first thing I would have recommended to you. They're going to do everything for you for that scratch test, and they're one of the best hospitals in the world. So you got in, and you need to let us know what you find, because we know people in all these areas. I think, based on what you're telling me, it doesn't sound like mold. You're probably going to be surprised on the sensitivities you have, but they will test for mold as well.
Hey, Emily, can I say something real quick?
Joe is here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
Just don't discount limes. One of the most common.
I've been tested for that, and they said no. But
good.
I've been tested for everything, guys. I have more of a list of what I don't
is what
have.
counts. Now, Emily, data counts. If you got tested for Lyme's and it's not, then Lyme disease, then it's not. You get tested. That's what testing is all about.
So what I've kind of found now is I'm looking at maybe going to a naturopath doctor, and I know people think naturopath doctors are kooks, but I spoke to someone the other day who says I might have SIRS, severe inflammatory disorder from water damage.
I swear she's looking for problems.
Yeah, Emily,
I'm not
listen.
looking for problems,
I don't think naturopaths are
I feel
kooks.
like shit every day.
Okay, I got her. Okay, so I got it already. I'm just putting her on hold. And we're not going to take that call because we're on delay, and she said the SH word that ends with T. So, Emily, I know you didn't intend to do that. You don't sound vulgar. If you truly want help, honest to God, there's steps to getting help. But you're in this spiral, Emily. When people start looking for things wrong, you're going to find them. Because there are people out there, I don't think just naturopaths are quacks. I think regular doctors are quacks too. The more you look for trouble, the more you're going to find. They're going to start feeding you stuff, information, to make you think you have a certain thing wrong so they can treat it. What is wrong with you, definitely there's an emotional component. The question is, what comes first? Is it the disorder or the emotions? Sometimes people have traumatic events which trigger physiological reactions. Sometimes people have physiological actions which trigger emotional reactions. Sometimes what happens is the stimuli that cause the bad feelings go away, but the fear of those bad feelings continue, which increase more bad feelings, and it becomes a self-feeding frenzy. And sometimes there is no real cause. Your actual emotional makeup can actually start feeding the disorder. And it gets into be a cycle. Then you go looking for problems. And then you'll hear things like chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia. You'll hear certain diseases that always come up. You'll hear mold syndrome. You'll hear things that it cannot be proven, cannot be touched, cannot be felt, cannot be tested for, cannot be quantified. And then all of the quacks enter with all of their solutions. And when you get into that trap, there is nothing anyone can do to help you except yourself. That's just the way it is. Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans. Let's talk about remodeling. You know what? Remodeling can be done through refinancing, and a lot of people are doing it, Brent.
Oh, absolutely, Tom. You know, a lot of people have gone out and looked at moving up and realized that with what the market's doing and how much home prices have gone up, that it's more payments than they're comfortable with, but they need to do something with the current home that they're in. And the great thing is the home that you're standing in is the source to finance your remodeling project, whether it's finishing a basement, redoing that kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, whatever you need. You can get the money out of your current home with all the appreciation we've seen, with rates in the high threes right now, and APR of 4.092%. It makes absolute perfect sense to tap into your equity to fund that remodeling project you've been wanting to do.
And you can always rest assured that at Ideal Home Loans, if rates go down, they will refinance you again, free of all lender fees. It's the great place to go for their customized loans for your situation. That's why I say Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan, 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. Okay, so while we're on the topic of loans, there's also another kind of loan called a reverse loan, for very few people, of course, because it's for people with equity that are 62 and older and want to borrow that equity and use it during their lifetime and then not pay it back. The most you'll ever owe is the house. But if your house goes up in value, no problem. You can sell it, pay off the loan like any other loan, and keep the profit. You know, here's the bottom line. Reverse mortgages are great tools for some. Not so great for others, depending on your situation. ApprovalReverse.com. Joan Sullivan and her team are the ones I trust to tell you whether you're a candidate or not. 303-771-3528.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
This report, the emotional component is huge.
It's mostly,
It is.
that woman is all, that one is all emotional.
Yeah,
We all know
so
it.
actually, the emotional component can come from inside a mother's womb before a child is even born. So we do a technique called somato emotional release in cranial psychotherapy. It's an advanced technique, and it helps people a ton.
With emotional problems.
Absolutely.
You know what?
We
I
release
feel
it
so
from the
sorry
soft
for
tissues,
them.
because the soft tissues will hold in store.
Yeah, our bodies hold everything.
Everything.
And that's what neuro-emotional technique does too.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all kinds of techniques for that. It's so terrible, Martin. Do you hear this woman that's looking for problems?
That's exactly what she
Oh my God. And she's just in this.
As soon as they say you don't have that, she's looking for another one.
So why didn't she just move out of the house? I didn't understand that.
Well, she has a lease. She can't afford it.
Okay.
She sounds like a military kid.
I wish there were people like
That
she needs counseling. Yeah. She won't go for it.
Oh, that's
Bless her heart.
get the hell out of there.
Windows and home exteriors. Improve your home's
I
appearance.
mean, you said it's an easy way to break the lease.
And
You know, have mold in there, try to get out of it.
savings sale.
She's not, if they removed it.
Payments till 2019.
They removed it. She said they didn't remove it correctly.
Expert
Here's the thing.
features champions exclusive comfort free.
We have mold all over. That's why the EPA doesn't have a standard for it. There is no standard for it.
That's why
I mean, obviously, it's
Well,
not
if there's
great for you.
moisture, there's going to be mold.
And she had a, yeah, maybe she's just allergic to that type
See, the
of mold.
problem is you go on the internet and you put toxic mold, you'll find their most horrendous stories in the world. They're all untrue. I mean, you know, the internet is filled with as much bad information as good information. That's the problem with it. And fibromyalgia, there is no test for it
There's
at
no-
all.
It's a cover-all. It's something,
It's
I mean,
very-
completely, and that is a lot emotional.
country does not have an agenda. Don't tell me that they're fair, balanced, and objective.
Great on the other big. You ever get your whole face great on?
They make you. In Castle Rock, I had to when I sold.
What are the things that you look for in automobile servicing? I look first and foremost for honesty. Because if they're honest and then they can't do something or don't know something, they'll just say, I don't know. I can't do it. Honesty, number one. What's number two? Then you want the skill. The third thing I want is convenience and value. I guess that's third and fourth. And the fifth thing I want is longevity, especially if I'm going to get some, guarantees or spiffs. I want to make sure they're around to do it. Pro Auto Care has all of those. 303proauto.com. Yes, they have longevity, skill, honesty. They have convenience. They have value. It's all there. I take my cars to them. I love the way they do business. I love the way they keep track of your car for you and help you maintain it with friendly reminders and tips and preventive maintenance along with emergency repairs. And of course, in between every repair, you get that roadside assistance automatic when you're a customer of Pro Auto Care. 303-PRO-AUTO is the phone number. 303-PRO-AUTO. Al Aramis and his team reflect caring, honest, skilled individuals. 303-PRO-AUTO is the phone number. 2 locations near Evans and I-25 and near Bowles and Santa Fe. 303proauto.com. I hope you don't need Wink and Wink ever because they're bankruptcy attorneys. So many of my attorneys, I love these guys, but I hope you don't need them. Our personal injury guys or criminal defense guys, and of course Wink and Wink. They do Chapter 13 and Chapter 7. If you ever need a fresh start, again, I hope you don't. Hope you're never unemployed or divorced or have a death in the family that causes financial ruin. If so, though, if you need them, 303-410-1720, 410-1720, winkandwink.com. Remember, our insurance help center going to the end of the day, 4 o'clock at least, 303-771-HELP over there. Jackie wants to talk she has some good news. Go ahead, Jackie, what's happening?
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Jackie.
I'm just calling because I personally use Joe as a massage therapist, and I just had to share
you.
Awesome the awesome experiences I've had with her.
That's good.
Yeah, I've been doing craniosacral with her since she began massage therapy, including her hot stone massages, and I have to say, there was only 1 year that I wasn't able to get regular massage, and that was when I was pregnant, which she did do craniosacral on me that whole year, but I did get a sinus infection, and up until then, I had chronically gotten sinus infections, and with doing the craniosacral massage therapy, she helped correct in my mouth, so that way my sinuses could drain. It wasn't that I never got sick, but I just have to share that it's not always just for pampering yourself. It's definitely something that your body needs.
I think
and she's awesome.
I think in the days where we had the physical activities and we walked and we had to swim and we had to hunt and we had to fish or whatever we did, we had all of that. I think massage, it does. It stimulates the body. And the number one thing it does, in my opinion, is circulation. It increases circulation. You know, most everything can be tracked to two things: a lack of circulation, which then causes inflammation. Inflammation is the number one disease of mankind, if you had to sum it up. Thank you for that. We appreciate having Massage Heights on the referral list. Let's talk to Mark. Has a question about siding. Mark, what's happening?
Yeah, Tom, I have a house with vinyl siding, and it's a little older, but it's in good shape, and I'm looking for a company that will do like some repair work, some trim that needs to be replaced.
It's really hard to get people to do that, man. I'm telling you, because it's so small and they're so busy usually. Who did the original siding? Do you remember?
No, it was when I bought the house, and I think some people.
Go ahead.
On your referral list.
Handyman Matters would be the place I'd call.
Handyman?
Handyman Matters. They are very skilled contractors. A lot of people think they're just for, putting up a gate or fixing a leaky faucet, or, well, not even a leaky faucet, or, putting a lock on a door, hanging a ceiling fan. These guys do, the stuff that you don't require permits for and all of that. Now, I believe, though, Mark, they are licensed contractors if they do have to pull permits. But, I mean, they specialize in mostly the stuff, when I say plumbing and electric, the stuff where you don't need permits and the stuff that's minor. And then, of course, when it comes to siding, they could easily repair it. I'm thinking that's the one I'd call for that.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I would do. It's hard to get a siding company to come out to do repairs, even a roofing company, unless they did the original work. I know that Jay over at Excel Roofing, they have a division for repairs, but it's hard. How many times have I heard from people saying, I can't get this done, or I can't get that done, I can't find anybody to do this, I can't find anybody to do that. All right, we have a couple lines open at 303-713-TALK. If you have any questions for Compass Insurance as well, they're still here in the house. And remember, that help center is going on till 4 today. If you call and with your declarations page and what you're paying, they want to let you know if you have a great deal or not, and they could probably save you money. Sheila, what's going on? Sheila?
Yes, hello.
What's happening?
Well, I got my old 25-year-old cabinets that were oak refinished by Gabe's Refinishing.
So you had some beautiful oak cabinets, and of course I don't like the look of oak, so you had them redone. Now, were you having them redone in wood or painted?
They weren't painted. You see, this supposedly guy is works on old antique furniture.
That's what I was saying. Originally, what kind of an oak finish? Did you have a natural blonde oak finish, or was it dark? Yes. It was light.
It was that natural blonde,
And what were you going to have done? The same thing?
No, he finished the job, and he did a beautiful job.
Oh.
There, he did a real, he mixed chemicals. There's 4 layers on it, so they're more than painted.
Right, but did they restore the original finish, or did you change the color?
Oh, change the color to a dark brown.
Okay.
They're beautiful.
Okay.
So he did a wonderful job doing that.
Okay.
And I had a luncheon date with a little lady friend of mine, and I didn't want to cancel, and they weren't quite done putting the knobs on. So I went ahead and left. I paid this guy $6,000 to do the kitchen and three bathrooms because of the technique and everything. I thought it would really hold up.
Wow.
So I needed to leave about a half hour before he was finished. I trusted the guy, paid him off again because he wanted money in advance, which I was surprised about. And so I came home a couple hours later only to see my granite cracked. And
your granite? Wait a minute.
The granite,
your granite
had a huge crack.
Now, did he do anything to the granite? Did he remove it?
No, he didn't, but I know what he did, and I've talked to a couple of granite specialists. And
what did he do, Sheila? What did he do?
This is what I think he did, is he needed, he scraped up the paint just a little bit. There was just a tad overspray. I'll bet you money that he put his knee on the granite right in front of my sink, so there's only about, maybe...
God, I don't know how a knee could crack granite. Do you have a photograph?
Oh, I've got 2 photographs, and I was happy to post them on the...
I need a more than just a tight shot. I need, to show in context. So is this in front of your sink, you said?
Yes, it is, and it's totally ruined.
Okay, so are you saying he stood up on it?
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
And he cracked he cracked the edge of it?
It's in the middle, so I've got, a sink. There's 2 parts of the sink. So if you stand in the middle of one part where there's only a 2-inch lip, right in front,
is that where it cracked?
Tummy would go. That's where it's cracked, and it's good granite. It's 1.5 inches thick granite, and it's cracked all the way through.
No, it isn't. You don't have 1.5 inches. No way.
Well, then I've got 1.25 inches. It's thick.
If you have that thick of granite,
I'll tell you what. I'll manage it. I
want you to take photographs.
Right now.
What does he say he's going to do for you? If he broke it, he would need to fix it. Now, I don't think you need the whole new slab, but I'll bet you, unless it can't be matched, of course. Listen, I need photographs. Suzanne, I need her to get me a photograph soon, like right now if she can. If she can email me a photograph.
I think we have one.
Did she send them to us?
Yeah,
forward it to me, please. 303-713-8255. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ. I love referring people here because the feedback I get is extraordinary. People that want a beautiful, bright smile heretofore have gone to a terrible, terrible expense with veneers. There's nothing wrong with veneers. It doesn't correct your mouth. It just covers up the imperfections, and it costs $50 or $60 to do it. But if you go to Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, you can get a big, beautiful smile that truly corrects your bite, your palate. It straightens out your jaw so it can do away with TMJ. It can help with sleep apnea. What Dr. Kent Lawson has proven in his practice is that the palate does not fuse and does not need to be surgically altered. It can be widened by natural means, expansion over a long period of time. And when I say long, I'm saying only 2 years. When I say long, I'm talking relatively long. I mean, compared to veneers you get overnight. Now, it might take you up to 2 years, but then you're done, and your mouth is beautiful. Everything is complete, including the braces. So he first does the expansion, and then it's all done without extractions and surgery, and then he does the braces, and those are Invisalign, and then you're done. And it's all natural and beautiful for a fraction of the cost, a tiny fraction of the cost of veneers. Give them a call, 303-690-0100, 303-690-0100, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ.
This report is brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Well, we're still working crashes on I-25 and I-70. I-25 southbound, we have a crash at 38th Avenue, backups all the way to I-76. Also, some road construction is slowing you down. I-270 eastbound at Vasquez. The right lane is closed. You're backed up to I-25. And on I-70 westbound, still working an earlier crash at I-225. We have backups to about Chambers Road as a result of that. Denver weather, mostly sunny this morning with possible thunderstorms this afternoon. Very hot today, a high near 96, a low tonight down around 67 degrees. Currently, it's 82 in Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Bill Jones.
6:30.
it's like the third.
It takes more than a roof to make sure your home is covered.
Yeah,
Farmers Insurance has over 89
So
years
it's a
of
green
knowledge and
granite.
experience. So
You see it?
can
No, I don't have
to you. Learn more at
Send them a link
farmers.com.
right to that.
Hey, it's Lynn and Michelle, the sisters from Brothers.
I have a lot of massage questions, oddly enough, on email, which is really. Oh, here, now I have it. I have it now.
You got her.
But just like you, it doesn't appreciate a rude awakening. Budget into better efficiency with a
Okay, so where is the granite? I see a wood table.
Okay, scroll down.
Spots are filling up fast, and
Okay.
summer's coming.
Holy crap.
It looks like it could be double layered.
That's just a bullnose. That's a fake.
Yeah, that's right. That's
They
exactly
cut,
what
it's cut like that when
Right,
you
so
see them.
the bull nose is that, probably that.
That's all, that is not the slab. That's just the bullnose has to be done. That is good news for her. You just have to do that bullnose.
So you're saying that's not part of the...
No, it looks like part of it, but it's not. Whenever they do an edge, they usually... Plumline Services for
Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. A company I know and trust, and I've been with him for so many years. I knew Jeff when he started out with 2 vans in a garage, and now they have a big, beautiful company serving you. And here's what I love. First of all, with electric, $149 to find, fix, any electrical problem, or the call is free. So 85% of the time they can do it for $149 including parts. That's right. Or you pay nothing but you get a written report. That's find, fix, or free. Electrical repair $149. Then they have 93 or free drains opening. That means if you need your drain unclogged, they'll do it for $93 or the call is free. They'll try. And if they can't, again, you get a written diagnostic of what needs to be done. But you pay nothing unless you choose to have additional work done. 93 or free. And then they have half off new ACs. If you buy now, half off when you buy a furnace from Plumline. Call for details on that, including more than $1,300 in utility company rebates, 0% financing, and a 10-year parts and labor warranty. Call them today, 303-586-1086, 303-586-1086, plumlineservices.com. Okay, I just want to remind you, we do have Massage Heights here. Part of the referral is Joe Matoyer, and we're getting plenty of emails about her, which is, I find, odd. And I do have something to say about that granite, too, because I got some pictures on that. My question about massage therapy. After joint replacement surgery, I'm interested to learn, can massage help me out? Oh gosh, with the healing and the
Absolutely.
It's all
Any surgery.
I love the circulation part of it, and it also helps build tissue, doesn't it?
It does. And it helps with, after a surgery, you have to remember they're cutting through your skin, the layers of the skin,
Sure.
the fascia.
Ugh,
So what massage therapy can help do, it can help reduce scar tissue. I'll tell you a story real quick. My daughter broke both her ulnar radius. It's the 2 bones in your forearm. Her doctor, she had to go on her surgery, get them repaired. She had screws and plates. We had them removed, but I kept massaging her arm the whole time.
Yeah.
When the doctor went back in, the surgeon went back in, he came out, he goes, okay, Mom, you did good. Because he was really nervous about the scar tissue.
Right.
Massage therapy will help reduce that. Absolutely.
Okay, we have a question here from Candy. Go ahead, Candy. Or a comment. Go ahead, Candy.
Hi. I have had massage therapy, the type called craniosacral therapy.
That's what she does.
Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Through Joe. And when I first saw her, the very first time I saw her, my pain level went from an 8 to a 3.
Wonderful.
Which made me deliriously happy.
Good.
But, the best part was I was headed for a wheelchair, and I was having a lot of trouble even shuffling my feet when I walked. And through the massage therapy, the craniosacral therapy that she worked on me, I was able to not only not go into a wheelchair, but eventually I got rid of a walker that I had for 2.5 years.
How old are you, Candy?
I'm 65, just turned 65.
Wow, well, that's not that old. Did you have a lot of arthritic problems?
I have some arthritis, but mostly I have the results of an injury from 2002, where I had an injury at work.
Oh, okay.
And there's nerve damage, and
But you feel that much better from massage.
It's amazing.
It is.
Yes.
And let me break into that real
phenomenal.
quick.
Go ahead.
Because the opioid epidemic is huge across the
my
country.
God.
People
Oh, my
get
God.
on a massage table. That will help a ton. And these prescriptions, drugs, are crazy. If people would
they
just,
actually make people more sensitive to pain.
Well, absolutely. But if they got on a massage table, it would relieve. I spent a year selling a sublingual fentanyl. It was ridiculous, absolutely, that it's even on the market. But a massage, so Candy was actually, if you don't mind me, Candy, she was on pain meds. I've taken patients and reduced their pain so much where they've gotten off their pain meds.
Now,
that's a massage therapist.
Let me talk to Paul now, who has a comment on this granite call. What I see here in the photos, a lot of times they glue on the bull nose, but even if they don't in this case, it's only in the, and it's not actually bull nose, but it's in the edging. And where it's located, it could easily be glued in and fixed. Easily fixed. With a matching granite, I'll bet you Art of Granite could do it. You could break off that piece, I think, and put in a new edge. It's right on the edge. Don't you think it could be fixed?
If that's how they do it.
Let's put it this way. I doubt that the entire slab needs to be replaced. That would be crazy for that tiny crack. But, I mean, it is a crack for sure. Hey, I'm sorry, I got the wrong one here. Let's go to, well, Sheila's not even there anymore, so I guess it doesn't matter. Paul has a comment. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, Tom. Yeah, you wouldn't even need to. That's all that my brother does is repairs granite like that, and he can take that crack and without doing anything, he can get it glued back together, and you wouldn't even know that it was cracked.
You know what?
You don't even have to replace anything.
You know, if your brother can do that, I need to talk to him. We need him on the referral list. I need to see some examples of his work because I have not found anyone yet that can do it that well.
Okay, I'll give you his Facebook.
Okay.
Lenzini, Lenzini.
Is he in the Denver area?
Yes, he is. Lenzini Stone Care on Facebook. And he's got pictures of his work, and that's all he does.
Lenzini? Mark, we got to look him up. Lenzini Stone Care, right?
Yes.
Well, thank you very, very much. I'm going to look into that. We have open lines, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You can get right through. You may have questions for our massage therapist at Massage Heights or for Compass Insurance Group. Matt, any more examples of savings at all?
Tom, I don't have any. I actually just emailed them.
Okay, well, that's fine. We've given plenty. But what you're doing is you're calling our help center, 303-771-HELP, with your declarations page, or at least your bill, what you're paying and what coverage you have. They like the deck page so they can specifically bid against that and go out and put it for bid. They check with like 25 companies to see if they can
Tom,
beat the
we help
price.
people with claims all the time. You know, people call in and they've had a claims issue with a company we don't even represent. We help with stuff like that too.
All right, so 303-713-TALK. By the way, this review she put up, Gabe's finished my cabinets. When I came home, I had a huge crack. How do you say a huge crack? How exaggerated. A huge crack in my granite, she said. That crack is maybe a half an inch as far as long and its hairline. How do you call that huge in anybody's book? Am I wrong or right? Mark, do you call that huge?
No.
I mean, it's just when people...
I'd be upset, though, wouldn't you?
Oh, I'd be upset for sure. No. She definitely needs to get this fixed. There is no doubt this needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed. But without talking to the guy, why would you put a review up like that? See, that's what bothers me about this review thing. She put it up before, didn't she say, oh, never mind, she did. She said, he said he would repair it. Now he will not answer my calls or texts. I had a quote of $5,000. Oh, that's ridiculous. God.
So you're sure that bull nose almost like glues on the front?
Okay. Many times it does. Sometimes, Mark, what they do is they will do the edge for real on the actual granite piece.
Yep.
And then the second part to make it extra thick is glued on. Or when you have a double ripple sometimes, that might be glued on. Or if you have that thick what's called that natural edge, that thick, you know, rugged edge.
It's almost like a molding.
Yeah, because when you see the edge of granite and you have a treatment on the edge, either bullnose or natural or whatever it is, it looks like 2 inches thick, right? When you see the edge.
But it's 2 pieces.
But it's not 2 inches. That granite would never be 2 inches. They lay the granite down anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to an inch, maybe a little more, and then to give that illusion of thickness, they thicken up the edging. But you know, Suzanne, we probably have time to get Art of Granite on to talk about this. I'd like to get him on to speak about how that's done on the edge. Could you do that for me?
Absolutely, Tom.
Because I'm about ready to do a commercial for him, but I'd like to just do Rockies instead right now and see if we can talk to Mitch Floria at Art of Granite. Rockies at 63rd and Federal, that is. If you're looking for a used car, truck, SUV, or van, you can find it there. Why? Because they have a great selection. Selection is almost everything, right? No, of course not. You can have selection and have terrible prices. They have great prices, but they invite you to shop around. This place encourages shopping around, but all they ask is this: please shop Rockies. Yeah, you know, they have all the prices marked. They'll tell you what they'll give you for the trade. They're ready to do business. So go shop, then go to Rockies. They'll be happy to show you the value they have. You have nothing to lose. It's always pays to shop. 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 303-426-4646.
From the L&L
Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center. This report is brought to you by Hub by Verizon.
Was Art of Granite do repair, or they're just pretty much install?
I don't know.
They might repair their
I don't
own.
think they, I don't think they.
I think the guy could repair it.
I'd like to see that guy if he can repair stuff. That would be wonderful.
Well, he's got a good website.
We had someone say they could do that with cement. That turned out to be a little funky too.
I think Granite's a little bit more cement is.
Granite's difficult, man.
Denver weather, mostly sunny this morning, but possible.
Will I be able to announce my screaming deal?
Yes.
You gotta
So you want to do
really
it.
butt in here and do it. Go quickly. Got to do it quickly.
Like butt in?
Like when we come back, I'll say, "What do you got?"
Okay.
Or if we're talking, say, "By the way, Tom," or something.
Just butt in?
And then, yeah, and then
That's
don't
why
take,
you're screaming.
don't take.
Always.
Okay.
$5 any policy, $5.99.
Any umbrella.
To the end of the hour.
Okay, it's into my policy.
Yeah, I got it.
Free umbrella with your umbrella policy. Hey.
Oh, yes, good. Then I'm good.
Later today at 1 on Denver's Talk Station at 6:30
Frank Duran, the real estate man. I love this guy. He's a little guy in stature and a giant of a man when it comes to morals, ethics, and energy to sell your real estate. Oh, my God, you won't believe how he does it. Even in a great market, you need someone good to also, because you got to stand out among the competition, right? And then you want to make sure you get the most. His number is 303-920-1622, 303-920-1622, FrankDuranTheRealEstateMan.com. Now, Mitch Floria from Art of Granite, I wanted to get him on. I love, of course, how you do granite, but I need some professional advice here, Mitch. First, we want to ask you a question. How thick usually are granite slabs that are put down?
How are you, Tom? Thanks for having me
I'm doing good,
today.
thank you.
Most of the granite slabs nowadays are what they call 3 centimeter, which is usually 1 1/8 to 1 1/4 inches.
Okay, now, what gives it the illusion of the thickness on the ends? The end treatment, the bullnose, or how do you get that illusion of thickness?
If you leave the edge square, so just an eased edge with just maybe 1/8 of an inch radius on top and the bottom, usually looks thicker than if you put a round edge, what they call a bullnose edge. It doesn't appear as thick.
Do you ever glue, is there ever edging glued on, or is it all one piece?
It's usually one piece. So back years and years ago, granite used to come, or it used to be 2 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch.
Right.
So those slabs were very thin. So usually, or almost every project, we laminated those edges. So we built those edges.
That's what I meant. But you don't laminate edges anymore?
Not usually. Sometimes these thicker slabs, we laminate them, and so we build up a double edge, which is very thick and beefy. It looks pretty cool.
Right.
Adds more labor and cost usually, and it's what we call a 6 centimeter, or it's about 2.5 inches.
Okay. Okay. Well, here's what I wanted to ask. This woman has a crack on the edge. It's not a bull nose, but it is definitely an edge treatment of some kind. It's fancy. And it's a crack, and it's only about, I would say, a half an inch long, and it's not that wide. Can they be repaired? Can you glue an edge in a spot?
Is her edge a laminated edge, a double edge already, or is it just a plain?
I don't know, but so if it was laminated, you could probably break it off and put a new one in, right?
Yeah. So back when the job was fabricated, if this is a laminated job, then what we do is we cut the slab, and then we cut strips of granite of about 2 to 3 inches.
Right.
And then we clean the stone underneath, and sometimes we make some grooves with our blade.
Right.
And then we apply the resin on, and then we sandwich those together. And so we use clamps. So then that seam, the long parallel seam to the edge.
Okay.
It's not very visible.
But what if it's not laminated, Mitch? What if it's one piece? Can it still be repaired?
Well, yeah, just apply resin, or sometimes if the chips or cracks are bigger, then we just apply a little bit of stoning.
But can they be pretty well hidden when you have a crack like that on the edge?
It depends on the color of the granite. So if the granite is very busy with a lot of flow and movement or speckly, then we can hide those better than if the colors are just solid or plain colors. Those usually show imperfections more.
But you don't repair other people's granite, right? You just repair your own. You're busy enough, right?
Yeah, sometimes if the jobs are not far, or we try to go to help, but it all depends. If the granite is installed years and years ago, who knows how that was done? And
right.
It goes, it's by situation. So.
Well, I appreciate you being on, Mitch Floria. We love talking about you. By the way, this guy wants to say something. Rob, what did you want to say about Mitch?
Hey, Mitch, it's Rob. They finished our job yesterday, and it was amazing.
Thank you very much.
Mitch.
Oh,
just what a great job. It looks fantastic. They did the bar sink, the kitchen, another bar. Unbelievable, fantastic experience.
Oh, I'm so happy, Rob. Thank you for using Mitch and for believing in the referral list. Thank you, Art of Granite, Mitch. And by the way, Art of Granite, you buy all your stuff wholesale through him or from him, but it's all wholesale. He doesn't mark up the stone or the natural counters. And then, of course, he charges only for fabrication and installation. And he doesn't even charge for tear out and haul away of the old stuff. And whatever you do in the kitchen, you get the bath free. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. And
so, hey, I got a screaming deal, Tom.
Okay, I'm going to ask you for a screaming deal. Now, Compass Insurance, I don't ask for screaming deals because they can't. They just give you the best deals out there. So what is the screaming deal for Massage Heights?
Okay, so
in Highlands Ranch.
In Highlands Ranch.
Okay, what is
Massage Heights, so Highlands Ranch location only for all Tom Martino listeners. You can activate a corporate lifestyle program with Highlands Ranch, so you're all going to be under my corporate lifestyle programs.
Uh-huh.
And when you activate your membership, and you can activate a membership for as little as $49.99 a month.
What do they get?
They get a full body massage, and there's different levels of memberships, but what they're going to get with that is a free 1-hour massage just for activating as a Tom Martino listener.
It?
They can call in to Highlands Ranch, or you can stop in at Highlands Ranch.
Can they go to the website?
They can, actually, no.
You can't sign up on the website?
Once you're signed up as a member, you can go on and you can do online reserving.
So they have to call or stop by. Where's it located?
Highlands Ranch is at 9245 South Broadway, Suite 100.
So it's Broadway and what?
It's Broadway and Highlands Ranch Parkway. In the Safeway, there's a Safeway right there.
And it's in that building?
Yep. But once you're not a tall building, it's a strip mall.
Oh, it is. Okay. So it's Broadway and Highlands Ranch Parkway. Here's the number. And once you're first you wanted to say once you're a member what?
Once you're a member, you can go across the nation. We have locations across the nation and in Canada.
And so how many massages do you get for that?
Once a month.
Okay.
And they roll over.
And it's cheap.
It is cheap.
So if you're
going to do $2 a day.
If you're going to do no, what I meant was the massage itself is cheap compared to if you just walked in. So what I'm saying is that if you're going to do regular massages anyway, this is the way to do it. 720-644-9100. Is that it? Is that the number you wanted? Okay.
Yep, that's right.
720.
And you have to say I heard on the Tom Martino show.
Okay, and then you'll get that special. 720-644-9100. Okay, that's 720-644-9100. Okay, so let's keep going. I don't know if we have time for a call. We're kind of in that in-between time, but what we have Compass on. There are many changes, Matt, in the deductible area when people are renewing their policies.
Huge changes, Tom.
Okay.
I think there's going to be bigger ones in the future.
Like, what do you expect coming?
Honestly, I think that in the next 2 to 3 years, I think we'll see mandatory $2,500 deductibles at minimum for hail on homes.
Well, I don't. First of all, you're paying out the nose for $1,000 or $500 deductible.
You are.
You're paying. It's not to
500.
Me, not
they don't even exist unless you've had that policy for.
And why would you want to pay that?
I totally agree.
So you think you're going to have mandatory higher deductibles?
Yeah, and then the carriers, Tom. A lot of the captive carriers, the State Farms, Allstate Farmers, those guys, they're doing these, roof schedules, ACV, things like that, so people aren't even getting replacement cost. You need to look at your policy.
And they're sneaking this wording in.
They are. And so what happens, Tom, is we have a storm like we had up north here a couple months ago, and then they find out that they're going to get $2,000 for a roof that's going to cost them $20,000 to replace. You need to read your policies.
Yeah, some of the policies are written for actual cash value. That is dangerous. What that means is they take the value of your loss. So if your roof was on for 20 years, or maybe that's exaggerating, but okay, let's say 10 or 15.
That's actually pretty common.
Okay, so let's say your roof was on for 20 years, and it's worth a couple grand.
Yeah. It's depreciated over time.
Yeah, and it's going to cost $18,000 to complete it. $18,000. You may end up only getting $2,000. And that is a real deal. The other one is this. You get a percentage of loss deductible. What does that mean, Matt?
So it's a percentage of the dwelling value of your home. So if you have a $400,000 house, that means that if you have a 1% deductible, you have a $4,000 deductible. 2% deductibles are very common. So that same person would have an $8,000 deductible. So there you go. An $18,000 roof, you're getting 10.
It's a percentage of value, not a percentage of the loss.
That's right. It's a percentage of the dwelling figure on your home. So the more valuable your home is, the higher your deductible will be.
All right, so Compass Insurance Group, remember, this is going on till 4, where you can call and compare your coverage. 303-771-HELP, 771-4357. Tell your friends and neighbors about it. I'm serious. You can save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year if you're one of the 85% paying too much. 303-996-9000. And don't forget, save all your problems for me.
Nothing is more important than your health. I'm Donnie, owner of
Fitness Gallery, where we sell the world's finest fitness equipment.
Yeah, I got a quick meeting with whatchamacallit, Mark.
Thank you, gents. Appreciate it.
I got